Record.
So, Par, have you heard of the guy that jacked off at Disney World?
I, I'm actually surprised I didn't hear about this. That sounds like national television kind of news. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I only know about it because I follow Penguin Zoe on YouTube, and he made a
Peng
little video about it, and he pulled up the articles, and some guys were actually jacking off at a Disney World roller coaster. It
that
was pretty crazy.
wait, like at the roller coaster? Like it was
Yeah, like during the ride, they just like whipped out the PP and just started masturbating.
during the ride. Oh wait, so
Yeah. It
that's
was like
like
a kid's ride.
okay, okay, who they're
Yeah,
on a list
there,
then.
there we go. That's where we draw the line.
Yeah.
Woo.
That's a list. I mean, prior to that, I thought it was like thrill, like how people say like the thrill seeking and that it's like kind of like similar in the brain, you know what I mean? It's like the same neural pathways. I could see that, but then you said that kids ride thing and I'm like, okay, hold on. We added too many. Those neural pathways need to be stopped. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
somebody needs to be held back, right?
yeah. That oh, held back. Wait, what do you mean by that?
stop them from masturbating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought held back meant like keep him in school or something like that. Like just the word in the word.
But put them back in school, please.
And
They need to
that's
be re-educated as to where not to masturbate.
yeah, I was like, okay, maybe he meant the re-education, but like the held back kind of like I thought about like No Child Left Behind. I'm like, no, like we need to leave, put those people in other places, not exactly where they were. Clearly where they were led them the wrong way. Like yeah,
What
it's
do you think leads somebody to that? Because it happens more often than you think. So back at
uh
my old job,
uh-huh.
I worked at a restaurant. I love working at restaurants,
Okay.
and there was one guy who
Uh-oh.
sat outside by himself on our patio. And to give you a
Okay.
layout of like how the restaurant is set up, the patio is right next to the front entrance. You literally have to walk through the patio to get inside the restaurant.
Uh-huh.
And this guy decided to sit at the table closest to both pathways, facing outwards, and he had a laptop. So everybody who walked by through or to the patio could see him on his laptop and what was on his screen. The guy was casually watching porn on
Okay.
our patio.
Uh-huh. Like
And
at the
you could
restaurant.
tell at the restaurant, yeah, he was
Uh-huh.
getting off on people like walking in on him. It was one of the most
Okay.
wildest things I've seen. And it's like, you know what?
That's that
To
thrill
each his
seeking.
own.
That's the thrill
Yeah,
seeking.
he's thrill seeking.
Yeah. I mean, like the I thought you were gonna say something else because I was like, did you call the cops? But yeah, I mean, you still kind of have to for that technically. But yeah, I mean,
No, I actually
it's
helped jack him off.
as
I'm
you
kidding.
should.
Come on, Par. We're good civilians.
Yeah. Good
No, we kicked him
Samaritans
out.
only would. I mean, like the thing is, it's like that's the neural pathways, right? As far as like why those things are connected. And the earlier question you said, I think a lot of it, unfortunately, comes from childhood trauma. Maybe some things are genetic in there, but I think nature versus nurture. I think both sides have to be looked at, but the nurture side's probably there. You know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
something about with the people on the roller coaster and the people who like being walked in on, that this being scared aspect at some point was tied close together somehow in a weird way, and those things are hard to map. You know what I mean? It's a difficult thing, but they can be. It's like conditioning, right? It's like how do you, like a bell ringing can make a dog salivate, right? Somehow it was conditioned together.
Somehow the patio plus the porn just really got his bells ringing.
Yeah, that
Yeah, I see.
and hey, if this is an incredible segue. We have a new channel, guys, the 50/50 podcast here, and you guys also should get your bells ringing by hitting that notification, hitting all, so that you guys are always
Yes,
notified about
please.
this. And just what we were saying, like as long as you keep it to salivation and nothing else tied to that bell ringing, great. Great.
You know what? Maybe that guy wasn't watching porn. Maybe it was just the amazing content found here and only here at the 50/50
No,
podcast
no,
channel on YouTube.
no. The
You know,
funniest part is there was a like a voided discussion where we were playing with the idea. Playing is crazy. Proposing the idea of having us create a thumbnail where we're reacting to
huh?
the roller coaster.
No, no, that's not real.
And oh, all right, just gaslight me, fine, it's part of the course. But here I think it would make the most sense, guys. The proper intro for our brand new channel. Welcome to 50/50 with your hosts, Par and Sai. Par on the left and Sai on the right, but I wrote it opposite because it's just funny. um and yeah, I think something to announce is we did start a Patreon. And so the Patreon episode, or if you sign on the Patreon, it basically gives you early access to these episodes a week ahead of time. So if you feel like you need more,
A double dosage.
a double dosage, you can't wait for the spoilers to come out for the 50/50 podcast.
COVID is gone, and you're like, man, I really wanted the needle. And you're like, where am I going to get my fix?
Yeah.
Well, the 50/50 boys have you covered.
And there may or may not be content that may not make it to the YouTubes, but we keep it there for some reason, and you'll only know why if you sign on there. And just know that we are working on making a lot of things more official with the 50/50 branding. So all we could say at this point is thank you for coming on from wherever, whether it was the live streams, whether it's from the old channel. Thank you for converting, coming here. Make sure to tell your friends, all that stuff. And we got a lot of interesting things to talk about.
Right now, we only have 2 subs, which is just me and Par. But
I was
hear
first.
me out.
I was first.
We need more subs, and I don't like saying that, but we do need more subs because I have a cousin that also has a podcast.
Oh,
And
competition.
yeah, it's our first rival. He's been doing it for I think about over a year now. He has maybe 20 episodes, and he only has I
Don't
think
say
30
only.
subs.
Don't say only, Si. That's mean.
He only has 30 subs, and you know what? Low be it for me to say, but I think we could beat him. I love my cousin. I haven't seen him in many, many years,
Is it a
but I think we
cousin
can beat him.
that I've talked to? Because I feel like I talked to
No,
two at this point.
you haven't talked to this one.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, but he has a whole podcast, and we could beat it out. He
I,
does motivational life lessons and therapeutic
hey,
talks,
we do that
and
too.
we're yeah. Like, come on, dude. Like that guy jacking off at Disney World. No, we're his therapist now, right?
Yeah,
We are diagnosing him, and we're helping him.
maybe this episode isn't the greatest litmus test for what we're capable of. But if you guys don't know what we are capable of, go check out the previous, I think, like 13 episodes prior to this. We didn't keep count, but we will start keeping count because we are an official podcast. And I'm surprised that you didn't mention our real competition. We
Jeff Bezos.
sure, yes, that is a fair one. But we come from a social media background. We both have our own accounts, and we know how important branding is and marketing is. And someone has the same name as you, it's so much harder to elevate yourself. And
The other 50/50 people. Yeah, the imposters.
we went into this, we just kind of like chose his name, and then we were like, it's gonna be temporary. And then it kind of grew on us, and then it stuck to us, and then we were kind of like, maybe we choose a different name. But then we like really looked into how many other 50/50 podcasts there were, and that almost emboldened us. We were like, no, absolutely not. We will be the only 50/50 podcast. And so I understand there's a lot of people who are like, hey, maybe you guys should change your names. I see a bunch of other 50/50 podcasts. Just this is where we put our foot down.
Yeah, we're gonna kick those guys out of their homes, right? Like a pregnant mother, she can't pay her rent, she's single, and she has a starving kid. We're gonna kick her out like the landlords we are. Am I right, Par? High five.
Oh God, not me.
High five.
I love how you wound up just like how I. Oh my goodness, I always do that, especially to my wife. Whenever like I say something out of pocket, I'm like, "Woo!" and then she's just like, "No." Yeah, exactly. Like everything Sai said, I back 100%. I just gotta let you guys know. Sometimes I don't listen to Sai, and we just kind of roll with it. Sometimes he doesn't listen to me, and sometimes I don't listen to him. That sometimes that's just how you have to get through your days.
That's life, honestly.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta tune out some of the crazy, and maybe like I think that's a um, we do have to what's it called like there's some I forgot what they're called. Not our best sellers, our biggest hits, our biggest
Our
hits, right?
biggest hits.
Like there's recurring themes across a lot of our episodes from like Greta Thunberg, Elon Musk, Samoans. I forget. Oh,
Is that
and
all we're gonna be known for? Just Greta Thunberg and Elon
oh,
Musk.
flat earthers. Everybody's a killer. That's a good one, right? What was the recent one? Like, oh no, this is kind of spoil. No, it's not spoiler because the episode will be posted already. What was the last one from? It was like more tame, but like,
Cowanus?
no, it wasn't. It was something in that realm, but not that. I'm one. Oh, aliens? No, not aliens. Something about aliens, maybe. Nah, flat or anti-flat. Oh, and you're anti-Beyblades. Just gotta
Yeah, I don't
reiterate
like
that.
Beyblades.
Um,
That's a true one. It's not a podcast meme. It's for real.
wait. I mean, like we're also anti-flat earthers. That's a real one. That's not
Yeah,
a
we
meme.
don't like flat earthers.
I mean
It's just a meme, guys. I'm one of you.
I forget. I forget. There's a few others. I gotta go back. Our comments are gonna remind us. I'm just saying this out for everybody who tunes in new to this episode and be like, "What are these guys
Par is
about?"
attacked by all animals.
We don't know if animals love me or don't like me. The thing is, it's like I think birds don't like me, but I also can't tell. But then, like big animals, the thing is, like the big animals, you just can't. You just don't
You
know.
can't win. It's a losing battle.
Yeah. Like if they're running at you and they're trying to hug you and it's a rhino, it's like that hug is lethal, right? The same thing with a whale.
Yeah,
I have some more animal stories, so, like the smaller ones, but actually that's a main topic for today. Um, but yeah,
animal
like,
stories.
but yeah, animal
All right, all
stories.
right.
But
I'm excited. I'm excited.
so like as much as and then we talk about not cool things, important things like Senate hearings. Ultimately, though, like we're just two dudes talking about things that come up in our week, just catching up because we don't get to talk to each other enough, and then when we do, ends up being a 3 hour ish amount, and then it's like, you know what, we were streaming it a long time ago, might as well hit that record, see where it goes. You guys see where it goes. And so as much as we're saying tune out the crazy in your daily life, thank you guys for
Don't
tuning into the crazy with the 50/50 podcast. That might be our tagline. Tune into the crazy. That's a good like
tune into the crazy. Oh, and then we can misspell tune. Like instead of like an e at the end, we put a 3.
oh okay. Like
Yeah. Like one of those old like Xbox gamer tags, right?
I thought you were gonna say TOON, like so we're like cartoony, you know what I mean? Like because we're like characters. But then you said with a 3, and I'm like, so like we're in middle school. Great, cool,
Yeah,
great.
exactly. People still love that, right? People still do that too, like
Listen,
on a daily basis.
listen. I was gonna out something that you did earlier today in like a
You can't.
professional set. I
I,
can't. I know I
I
can't.
was gonna do that too. I think I was gonna make a joke about it, but I was like, wait, if I make that joke,
You actually
then I might allude to something bigger.
yeah, no, like I actually was just like I told you, I was like, you're joking, right? You're so obnoxious for this. And we're sitting here like doing professional ass things and you're just like, but this? I'm like, come on.
Hey. What you're talking about? We're the best podcast out there.
Fair.
We don't make mistakes like that.
We don't make mistakes. Yeah, who says it was a mistake? Honestly, crazy.
Inside joke. Sorry guys, you won't get it.
Yeah. So
Just
without
know that there's a lot of dead Samoans out there.
what?
What? I had to cover our tracks.
So with that, what are you trying to cover?
Okay, maybe that wasn't the best thing to cover our tracks with. Um,
But
ooh, I thought if I said something ridiculous, it might like people will be like, "Oh, that's what he's talking about,"
I don't
right?
know why you like what you said. You know what? That's actually a good segue, like into some of the things I
I
recently
love
saw.
Samoans. They're in my family.
Are
I
they?
have Samoan. Yeah, I have Samoan family members. Please,
Oh.
don't come after me, Dwayne.
No, not the Dwayne. You can't. That's like saying I have.
Woo.
Oh my goodness. I'm not gonna even say anything more. But what I was gonna say is the covering of the tracks. It reminded me of like like sometimes people give advice, and then it's like criminal, like it's like to help criminals, and so like one like sometimes TV shows do it, sometimes people do it, sometimes by when you like hear like murder mysteries or crime in investigation things, they like unironically teach you how to be better criminals, and like one of the best ones that I think to this day, and I don't feel great about perpetuating it, but it's out there. I'm not the person you probably heard it first from, but it's like if you want to hide a dead body and like it's like in the forest or whatever, and there's you're
Google.
expecting a search party, what you're supposed to apparently do is take like the corpse of an animal and put it above like the buried body that you buried. So like if you bury like 20 feet down, you put a body, then 10 feet above it, you put like a dead animal. And then so like when the dogs sniff out the thing, they stop at the animal corpse and like, oh, they sniffed out the thing, right? And like
Yeah.
that. So when you said covering the tracks, I kind of thought about that because you just like cover the tracks with something worse or just as bad. No, it's not like worse. Like I mean, life is sacred, right? But that's what
Yeah.
it reminded me of.
If I
And
had to pick one, I said I made the worthy sacrifice.
I think it doesn't help if like the thing is, while I was saying that, I was like, you know what's crazy about that is the person who committed that crime had to commit a second crime, or they just have like dead animal like just like as access, and that's kind of crazy to think about because then it's like they have to
They
dig
could be a
even
hunter.
deeper. I guess they could be a hunter. That's true. You just
Yeah,
put like a
like
deer.
here in the South, we have a lot of like dead deers just floating around. You know.
Yeah, which ties into the flying around is crazy. Did you say flying around, or am
Yeah,
I tripping?
I don't know if it's my Asian accent, but I meant to say like hanging around.
Not- I'm Asian too. Come on.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I forget you're Asian. Like the only Asian people I count as Asian are like the Chinese and Japanese and things. It's like, damn, if you're not them, you're probably not Asian, to be honest.
Fair, fair. But what I will say is half a good chunk of my native, not my native, but my lineage is half. Man, it sounds bad if for coming from me, which kind of tells you that there's a separation. But like if I just go out and say like yellow Asian, right? Like it's not gonna sound great. But
Man, those yellow people. Oh God.
that's honestly a great segue into the main topic, that I wanted to lead us into, and I'm curious about what you think, right? So, and the viewers already know
Okay.
what I'm leading us into. This is a
And Par,
surprise.
okay, hear me out. Par said before we started that whatever topic he has could get us canceled. So I'm really excited to see what it is. What could this topic be?
The viewers already know because I typed it out as the subject.
What is it? Hit me with it.
So,
What is this topic?
so Sai, today I wanted to discuss white privilege.
Wait, where's this coming from? We're not white.
Oh, I mean, isn't I think it's very important for us to discuss this because we give a different angle,
Yeah.
and I might be able to give some insight on this particular story, but I'm curious to know, based off of the recent news, if you know what am I going to talk to you about, Sai?
So you said white privilege.
Uh-huh.
The only thing that I saw recently was a teacher making students bow down to like their classmates because of skin color.
Oh
There's
no.
that, but I
Oh
don't think
no.
that's what you're talking about.
That was the reverse thing. See,
Th-
I depending on what you said, I did have a segue story that was a little bit more real. It is
yeah.
slightly real.
So this isn't real. It's headcanon?
No. The story I have is very real. The story that I
Okay.
want to talk about is very real. I just had a segue story to like to like
Mislead me.
not mislead us, but like you know, if it needed to come to a serious point, then we could talk about it. You know, there was a story that I think I sent it to you, where so keep in mind this isn't the story, but the real story is really funny. So let me just tell this serious one first, and we can just breeze by it and go to the other one, which is even way more interesting and funny. But this is the craziness to me. There was a story of this dude who I don't remember the full story of this guy, but he's white, obviously white, right? Why would we be talking about the story if it wasn't white? He's white. He I think he commits a crime with a gun. Then he assaults a minor. Then he gets drunk. And like his like there's like a like he's like apprehended at some point in between there, but he's
Yeah.
let go.
Hopefully he gets apprehended.
No, but he's let go. And then he gets drunk, and then he drunk drives, and I think he crashes into a tree, and I think he commits another gun crime. And then so he I think he actually killed somebody. I think he actually like literally killed somebody after
Yeah.
that accident or because of that accident, right? Drunk driving, whatever, under the influence. He goes to court and gets sentenced. What do you think? What do you
I
think is
feel like I've heard a
appropriate?
story like this, but
Uh-huh.
I know the topic is white privilege, so it's got to be something ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
Did he die?
No,
Like
he's alive.
the he's alive. Okay, because the one I heard about the guy's being he's actually being killed. He got the
Oh,
death sentence, but no, a
no.
week in jail.
Something I think it was something similar. He like got he like his trial, probation, all that was like I think his bail was like 1,000 or something like that. It wasn't even crazy.
Yeah.
And then he got sentenced to 3 years, and he like took someone's life, whatever, all that stuff. On that
Hey,
same
3 years
day,
ain't bad. The guy made it out good.
right? So on that
That's
same
wild.
day, a 15-year-old kid and his group of friends, they burglarize. I don't even think it's considered burglary, or it's not armed burglary or anything like that. But they choose a like there's nobody inside this building. They break into the house. I don't even think they steal anything. But the cops are somehow alerted to the situation, and the cops show up. And as the kid, I think there's 4 kids. As the kids run away, one kid is shot and killed, right, by the cops, right?
Yeah.
This one of the 15-year-old kids, I think all of them, but one of the 15-year-old kids was actually captured, taken to jail, whatever, and then is on trial. He waited, I think, like 9 months for his trial or something like that. Or no, he waited 3 years or something like that for his trial. So he was just no bail, no way to get out. He's like stuck in juvie because he's like they want to try him as an adult. And it's like, wait, why do they want to try him as an adult? He didn't kill anybody. He didn't. There's nobody harmed. It was basically like nobody was built. I don't think anything was stolen either. By the way, nobody was in the building, and I think the building wasn't even like owned. It was like a completely uninhabited building. But they wanted to try him as an adult. Why?
Because age is just a number, Par.
They wanted to try him as an adult because they uh found him. They were charging him with felony murder or whatever. So
Yeah.
basically, if you are a part of a crime where the police kill somebody, you are blamed for that kill. And so
Because you caused the situation, right?
yes, and so
Yeah.
he was charged with his best friend's murder at 15,
Yo, that's wild.
and he was sentenced on that on by the way on the same day as this guy who actually killed somebody, assaulted a minor. He was sentenced 65 years to life, 15 years or 18 by the time. And you know, he's not white. Surprise, surprise. And I thought that was kind of interesting. I did
Where did
want
this take place at? Like what state?
I think it was Texas.
That sounds about right.
I think it was Texas. I might be mixing up because there was a few interesting news things that happened from Texas. I sent you a few of them.
Yeah.
Crazy. Like there's an active manhunt right now for some dude. Crazy, crazy story.
Texas
Um,
is wild.
yeah, Texas is wild. But that was just a segue story. So, sometimes we talk about serious things, sometimes we don't. We regurgitate some random news stuff that comes on, provide commentary. But the main story, and I don't want to be disrespectful to the actual situation there. That sucks. That's crazy. These things
No,
need to
that's a
change.
bad
Yeah,
situation.
like, how do you do that? Like, this dude like literally didn't kill anybody on the same day. Yep, 65 years. This guy.
They said F this kid.
Yeah, that's
Damn.
crazy. And so we're going to arguably, depending on your perspective of life, a pretty messed up story. I just sent it to you, so you had no chance of looking at it. But okay.
What are your opinions on this? Is this a good or bad story?
So
Are you happy with the outcome?
so I'm trying to frame this story in a way where I don't tell you the details, and you kind of just have to like react to it. And I'm trying to
Yeah.
see if it. Nah, it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't. I just gotta tell you straight up. Okay,
Tell me straight up what happened.
so these environmentalists are nature preserver, like animal control kind of people, right?
So my worst enemies.
Sure, they are out there
That's
doing
those
their
dudes.
duties, right? And they go into the woods or whatever, wherever they went, and they see a bear, and they recognize, wait, this bear doesn't belong here. Why doesn't the bear belong there, Sai? Why do
Is
you
it because
think?
it's a brown or a black bear?
So it's it's actually a white bear. It's a white bear.
Oh, a white wait, like a polar bear?
Well,
Or like
buckle
an
in.
actual like white bear?
It's a white bear, and presumably a large bear that they were like, hey, what is a polar bear doing in the middle of the woods? This is where grizzly bears are. How did this bear get here? How did this polar bear get here? So let's do the good. We should be good people, good Samaritans here. Let's relocate this polar bear to
Oh
where
my
it
god.
belongs. Let's take it to the
Dumb
Arctic.
idea.
So they bring it to the Arctic. This bear gets destroyed, absolutely ravaged, bro.
Mother Nature just kills him. What are you
It
doing here,
it
white
it,
bear?
it
I told you to
couldn't
stay over
function.
there.
It couldn't function. It got bullied by the other polar bears. It just didn't know what to do. Didn't know how to eat. It got decimated.
That sounds about right. Environmentalists are so fucking stupid sometimes.
Why? What happened here? What was missed? What do you think, Sai?
I think it was so if it actually legitimately is a polar bear that
Uh-huh.
is living in, I don't know, like you didn't give me a state, so let's just say suburban California.
Uh-huh.
Let's say it actually is a polar bear that lives in suburban California. It must have gone there somehow, some way, and it's been surviving. So putting it back into the Arctic is just going to kill it, obviously. That's the obvious solution. But let's say what I'm going with though is I think they misgendered or misidentified the bear. Right, one of
Uh-huh.
the cardinal sins of humanity. They
Uh-huh.
misgendered the bear
Uh-huh.
and they got the pronouns wrong,
Oh
and it's
no.
actually like a black bear with snow on it. It's gonna be
You
something stupid because these guys have very low IQs.
so so this is actually funny because there was a debate I saw as a different TikTok, which I think it'd be funny to talk about in hindsight. I should have asked this first. Damn it, I should have planned better. I didn't have I literally, it was like 5 minutes before the call where I was like, yo, this is hilarious.
This
So
is a great meme.
so I think this ends, like, not ends, but this is a crazy debate, but it's kind of unfair. It's kind of unfair considering the circumstances, but the latter explanation that you had is closer to the truth. What they found out after realizing that this bear was
Oh no.
destroyed by the environment,
Was it wait, was it albino?
it was an albino
Oh,
grizzly
not even
bear.
that's the obvious. If it had there's traits to tell if it's albino. You can tell if something's actually albino. That's the worst part.
It has a genetic disorder, bro. It was a grizzly bear just minding its own business. And it was literally white passing, bro.
No, it's if anything, it's more rare. They just killed it.
No. The story doesn't end there. The
What do
story
you mean it doesn't end there?
doesn't. That's
How?
how crazy, bro. My
How does
I
it not
need
end
I
there? What
need you
happens?
while I tell you the story. I need you to go to TikTok. I need you to click on the thing I sent you and look at my comments, bro. It's insane. But so the
I haven't opened TikTok in so long. Wait,
I
no,
put
don't do this to
hashtag
me.
Beppo, by the way. In my repost. But but okay. First of all, I was like, damn, like this looked like a big, because they gave images of this bear. It looked like a big grizzly bear, like a bigger grizzly bear. It wasn't like I've sent you
Yeah.
a lot of animal TikToks and they various sizes of bears, and we've seen a huge grizzly bear. That it was similar to that size, but just albino. It honestly did kind of look like a polar bear, but but you gotta imagine, like if you are animal experts, and you're just like you're like in the
It's a
woods,
polar bear that's living in California. That's
bro.
weird. The temperature is like, freaking 20 Celsius a difference here. How's he doing this?
Yeah, like you don't think that they would like watch it for like a week and be like, wait a second, it's fine. You know what I mean? Like a polar bear wouldn't normally be okay in the woods, just like a grizzly bear wouldn't be normally okay in the Arctic. And like I think
They just tortured him. I
I,
like to imagine that like the grizzly bear wakes up and it's like, where am I? Like he
no,
just dies on the
that's
spot.
literally okay, bro. When you see it, it's so sad because first of all,
Wait, there's video of
there's
the
video.
grizzly
There
bear.
is video.
That is
It's
amazing. I
it
hope it haunts
is
them.
it is the like
That's so good.
I did not think I would get mad, but I got mad. Like because these are animal experts. You'd think that they would just look at it and be like, "Okay, you know what I mean?" Honestly, I've heard stories of polar bears coming further down because of climate, global warming, whatever. They're coming down further down. And I've honestly heard some stories of polar bears just coming into other bear habitats and just kind of like not functioning perfectly but functioning fine. But obviously the same isn't true for a grizzly bear who's acclimated to warmer weather, not the Arctic. But all it takes is like a week of looking at it, right? And then if you're animal control,
It
if we're
doesn't take a week. It literally just takes looking at the bear and saying, "Wow, look, it has all the traits of an albino."
and so here's the thing.
Like,
How do you think they relocated this bear? It's not a humane process. No, they put it to sleep. They put
yeah,
it
they
into a net
tranquilize it or
and
something.
then lift it up by a crane. So it's just like this. It's just not good. And then they haul it into a truck or a ship and then toss it into the
Beautiful.
Arctic. So what you said is, yeah, it literally just woke up and was like, what the hell? What happened? Like it got isekai'd, bro. It got isekai'd,
Do you
literally.
One of my favorite parts to imagine is that he was preparing for the winter. He was like, "Ah, look, all my food's ready. My wife's at home waiting for me. The kids are cooking in the oven." And then he just wakes up and then everything is gone.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I'm pretty sure
He
the
just
grizzly bear got
dies.
like insta put into hibernation, right? He's like, where are my nuts? You know what I mean? Like where are the
Yeah,
bees? Like I need all that stuff. Like where are the bare necessities? Come on. Like
that's hilarious.
and so the video is tragic, right? Because at some point in this transfer process, you would imagine that they would like tag it, they would test it, they would like figure out, hey, how did this polar bear get here? If that's the assumption, let's make sure that this is a polar bear. Okay, cool. They didn't do that. You see this bear literally like they had video of it getting like mauled by other bears. Like it was crazy. And then
Wait, 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 wait. They put him among other polar bears?
other polar bears bullied it. Like they have
Oh my god.
documentation about
That's
this.
so good.
And then the last part of this clip was the bear dragging itself by its front feet. It's like back. It was so tired and decrepit that it was just pulling itself out of the water, dragging itself. I'm like, nah. Everyone has
At
to be
that point, you
fired.
have to. Yeah, no, they.
Everyone has to be fired.
No, of course they should be fired. These guys
That's
are assholes.
crazy. Like I felt so bad by the bear. That's not where the story ends. They were
How does it
like,
go on?
oh my god, we made a mistake. Let's bring this bear back to its natural habitat. And that's when they found out, oh my god, this is an albino grizzly bear. That's when they found out after they saw the bear dragging itself and oh, the bear clearly is having a hard time acclimating here. Let's figure out what's wrong. It's an albino grizzly bear. Oh my god, we messed up. Let's send it back. Cool. They do that. All right, so here's what happens. Another separate group
Oh,
finds
stop.
this. No,
Oh,
no,
stop.
no, no.
Oh, stop.
They find this albino grizzly bear. Think, oh my
Another
god,
one?
no, the same one, the same one, the same one, the same one. They find the same one, and
Oh,
and
no.
and they and they they were like, what is a polar bear doing in the woods? And then they were like, you know what? Let's take it to a polar bear conservatory or whatever, like a and that just happened to be a zoo. So they brought this albino grizzly bear to a goddamn zoo for polar, like the part that they put in was for polar bears. And you would
Oh,
think at
stop.
one point they didn't test it either. And I'm like, no. And then so in the habitat, again, it got bullied. It was just oppressed. Like it was literally just
This
like
is they could make a movie out of this.
this
Forget Cocaine Bear. This is the bear movie we need.
and the narrator of this TikTok just like inserted a monologue of the bear. Like they were basically like, if the bear could speak, it'd tell us about how messed up humans are. It's white, like how like I think it says something about like white privilege or whatever. But like for me, I'm like, yo, white privilege is like this is white privilege gone wrong. White passing messed this bear up so bad, and I'm sitting there like, none of these goddamn people thought to tag the bear. Like if you tag the bear and someone else picked up the bear, they'd be like, huh, I wonder why this bear is tagged. Let me check it. And then boom, you'd figure it out. We do that to dogs. We do that to sharks. We track sharks across the globe underwater, bro, to know that this shark that's in Australia was just in California. But we can't do that to like a genetically different grizzly bear that just got
A
abused.
rare one too. It's like a shiny Pokemon.
Yeah. And oh man. And the thing is, the bear's still alive. Honestly,
Kill him.
honestly, bro.
I just kill him. I honestly would have killed him in Antarctica, wherever they put him. Like the minute I saw him getting mauled by other bears, I would say, you know what? He doesn't deserve to live anymore. Like this is too tragic.
I could not believe that story. I heard, maybe call me insensitive. I heard a lot of tragedies this week. Maybe I'm desensitized for all the, the random school related things. You know what I mean? And then this bear story. I'm like, no shot. How do we mess that up? Like, that's so crazy. I don't know.
It wasn't even like a small mistake.
Like the thing is, it's not even me. Like the
It's an
comments.
expensive mistake too. Like they had to fly him out and
Yeah, where
everything.
the
Like that is
tax money for that?
expensive. Yeah. Oh, don't remind. We pay tax money for that.
we,
No,
we
defund them, dude.
It's our
Defund those
fault,
guys.
side.
That's
We
stupid.
paid for that.
Yeah.
The bear to get
We,
flown
we got our
out.
money's worth, Par. I hope you
Oh
like
my
it.
god! Like people talk about special islands, right? This bear got flown out to a different continent, and it got isekai'd. Just it woke up,
Isekai.
and it's just like, bro, what happened? And the thing is, it was not plot armor. It was not the main character of the show. It got messed up as they normally should be. You know what I
It's
mean?
like something out of Vinland Saga.
Yeah, dude. Like man, I guarantee you, when you see the TikTok itself and you see the clips, it's the saddest thing because the bear in the habitat is like sitting upright and its arms and shoulders just like slumped, and it looks like a human who's just gone through the worst like life, worst
That just
year.
almost family died.
Yeah, like no, on it.
He had
You're
a
gonna
whole
see it.
life, bro. He had a whole life out there
Yeah,
somewhere.
like maybe he had did they even check? Did they even check if they were like relocating this albino? What if the polar bear brought its family? You know what I mean? Did they not check that? Did they check if this polar bear
Wait.
had a family?
Now that I think about it, albino animals usually don't mate because nobody wants to mate with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he probably didn't have a family. So you know what? Nobody was affected. I rescind my statement. The polar bear mutilation is fine.
Oh no! Oh no!
Goes for the best.
I was just blown away that there's so many animal stories I kept on I keep stumbling on. I sent you a few of them. I'm trying to remember, but yeah, this polar bear, albino grizzly bear, it just made me realize, like, bro,
There's some dumb people out there.
yeah, these are professional people. Like, it's crazy to me that I told you the story, right? I told you in the story in a way for you to like logically think through the options. And I'm gonna go on a limb side. You have pets, but you're not an animal. You're not a vet. You're not an animal expert. You didn't
Yeah,
go to
no.
school for this. These years,
I didn't
tenure,
study for years.
and you came up with the option of maybe it was a misgendered brown or black bear. And though you weren't on the nose about it, you were closer to the truth than these guys. These guys assumed that a polar bear relocated itself thousands of miles.
He swam to North America, yeah.
And
He swam
nowhere
across the ocean. He actually chartered a boat.
and nowhere along the way. Like, I think me and you would both have the due diligence of being like, why? I asked that question. It was somewhere along the lines of handling this bear. Why? Let's test out this bear. Is this bear okay? Is it mental? Like, does it have like a health condition? You know what I mean? Like, for a polar bear to relocate itself, maybe it's injured. Maybe it was fleeing something. Maybe there's some kind of genetic thing that made it come this way, right? Let's figure out why nature put this bear here rather than act like nature messed up and relocate. Like, oh my goodness. Like, this, so it's, whoo.
I love how you just threw in the taxpayer money part too. I thought that was kind of funny.
I
So
didn't
yeah,
think
we paid for this.
I didn't think about that until I remembered that it was like it's the original people were government agencies, I think, like tied to them. The
Oh,
secondary
stop.
group, I think, were more like the private 501c groups that like relocated to like the zoos and for profit organizations, which the government, I guess, wouldn't do that. I guess that would make the most sense because, yeah, like honestly, like is a non-profit company relocating a polar bear to the Arctic? I don't think so. You know what I mean? Like, they have to get the money somehow, so they get the kickbacks from the zoo or something, from the tickets, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, something like that. I imagine that's the business end of it.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, yeah. There's some crazy things happening to animals. I'm trying to think. There was another one. Man, was it medically related? I'm trying to remember. Oh, there's an interesting one. It's more on your side of your dream world. You know what I mean? We're leaving the racism.
Oh,
We're leaving the racism. Polar bear. What uh racism towards bears. Acting like gods. We could put on a lot of labels of the heinous people behind this atrocious act, right? We don't even need to go back the story before that because there's some other words we can put on the people behind that. But here is an interesting one.
hit me
Um,
with it.
so we have been, we talk about AI a lot on this channel. I think we talk about tech a lot, right?
We love AI.
Yeah, I think we both dabbled. The topic right now is just white because I forgot to delete it. The best AI. Okay, that's the topic. So we talk a lot about it. Where do you stand right now with like current things, like current AI that you see? Like, it can current AI replace you and me on the 50/50 podcast?
They definitely can.
They definitely
So,
can.
oh, 100% they can replace us. I bet they have better jokes than us too.
What?
Hear me out, Par.
Uh-huh.
There's an artist I follow on Spotify,
Okay.
and they post only
Only fan.
AI generated music.
Oh, I've heard of the dibble dabbles of that, the dribble drabbles. So I'm
Yeah,
assuming it
it's
starts on
actually
SoundCloud
pretty
and
good.
Spotify, but I hear clips on TikTok. Yeah, I've heard the Kanye ones, but I've heard like the Drake AI, those kinds of things. But then there's some people mixing like new songs all together. It's pretty good. Yeah, you're right. It's not bad. It's not bad.
So I'd say that AI they have a lot of potential. They can definitely take us out of the game if they wanted to.
That is a testament to creativity. I can see that, but I would also go out on a limb and say music is an interesting demonstration of AI, because in a lot of ways music is kind of formulaic. You know what I mean? Like, how many times
Yeah.
have people said like our industries or music industry's gone stale? Like, when someone gets signed, they automatically fall into a rhythm of pop or whatever is more popular to get the label happy, whatever. But then before they're signed, they're more unique, right? And it's because there's like that formula of what people like, and what's trending and what's meta, right? And so there is that kind of like progression of things. And I see that mold kind of breaking with people. You know, there's probably other examples, but I think Billie Eilish was a good example. When she first came onto the scene, she had that like unique sound that the world wasn't going to, and it was kind of like aggressive ASMR kind of thing. That was also musical, and a lot of the older people are like, what is this music, what are the younger people listening to?
This is satanic.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And then now it became more mainstream, and then you hear more people doing that. And now, like, because it's in there and there's a formula behind it, now AI could probably copy that. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
so I think that because the music industry is super saturated, not that the creativity is lost, the creativity can still be there. It might be the people spearheading the creativity, but now I think AI is positioned in a place that forces artists, if you want to be like that like standout artist, you are forced to be creative. Otherwise, AI is just going to beat you. If you stay in the box of where the music industry is already at, there's going to be AI that is better than you, right? But if you want to beat the AI, you have to change what you do. You have to change the formula. You have to be innovative, right? So I think there is a separation there. And, you know, going back to our podcasting, not saying that we are better than AI. Maybe,
We'll never lose to those robot idiots.
you know, I think that we were talking about it before in earlier today, that there's a certain element to us that I think we would throw the computers through a loop. You know what I mean? Sometimes we say
They
things.
wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, like I think, you know, again, not to tout our own toot our own, you know, horns a little bit, you know, not that I wouldn't want to toot your horn side, but like the you know, I think about, like, you know, those Terminator movies, the AI movies, where the solution is try to do something that the AI can't predict. I think that we could do that. You know what I mean? I think that the AI would short circuit trying to figure out what our next plans are. Sometimes, like like me bring up the white privilege thing. If I said that, the computer would be like, oh no, breaking down, and then I'm talking about an albino grizzly bear. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it would be able to predict me like that. You know, I got
If it was
moves.
trained on you, I feel like it maybe could though.
Nah, but the thing is, but then I would know. You know what I mean? And then I'd go even crazier. You know what I mean?
I don't know. AI is smart, man. I don't want to underestimate an opponent.
Okay, so then how about for your end? Do you think that you knowing what you're up against, you don't think that even if it was trained on you, it had all the knowledge of the Psy beforehand, you couldn't supersede yesterday Psy with a new Psy? Because I think every podcast there's a new Psy here. You know what I mean?
I think the AI would win.
You think they? Oh my god. Okay, what if we combined? What if we
I have a
combined?
lot of faith in AI. Maybe not AI right now, right? But like AI in
Mm,
like a couple of years, yeah. I
yeah.
think it could totally beat me.
Current
No
AI.
way.
Okay, so then individually maybe, but what if we combined ourselves?
No, no way.
What? But not current. Maybe like add another year and then it would be both of us?
I think it could just be well, oh yeah, not current, but I think no matter what you do, AI will be able to replicate you better.
Damn.
I don't
Damn.
think there's any hope when it comes to that, but I feel like people will never stop liking actual people though, right?
I guess so. But the thing is, like, right now there's like AI is getting to a point with like Unreal Engine 5, for example, where they could just like
Oh
make
yeah.
real people looking like they could just
Have you
make
seen
us look
those?
exactly like us down
Unreal
to our
Engine 5 is
flaws.
wild.
Yeah, it's so like, and Unreal Engine 5 doesn't, from what I remember, doesn't necessarily incorporate AI into its learning mechanism. It uses AI to mimic like realistic, like, so like if you put in a script or whatever, like it'll look super real as a person, but they're not even putting the AI part in, like let's say it wanted to copy us, right? And it like used us as a model. They're not even doing that part yet, I don't think. They're using like previous models, right? Like it doesn't have like a forward learning mechanism implicated into it, because Unreal Engine 5 is used more for like video games, right? So it's
Yeah.
like a preset thing. It's not positioned for that yet. But the other part of Unreal Engine 5 is that it's something that can be what's it called, licensed out. So now anybody who wants to just use that, just license it, pays a fee, and then they can incorporate that. And then if they add an AI model like Chat GPT, for example, on top of it, and again, I might be wrong. I don't think it uses one of those models yet. Like I don't think it uses Chat GPT 4 or whatever inside of it. But once it does, that's when it gets to like beating us. You know what I mean? Like, and being scary. It's kind
Like,
of,
imagine if we didn't have face cams right now, right?
yeah.
AI could just replace us.
The
I
thing is,
think it could formulate like an entire podcast and just go off the rails. There should be one. You know what? Let's start an AI podcast on the side. Just not even say it's us, like just on the side. We'll name it like Clink and Clank. And
or
then we just go off on it
let's
and
do
see how far. Let's see if it beats us.
the 2020 podcast. Remember we
The
wanted that?
2020
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
podcast.
It's like a so adjacently close, and then like we could start beef with them. You know what I mean? And then ensue
Those
our own
ugly
drama,
robots.
and then we can like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like just drama sells, but the irony is we are the drama. Oh man, I shouldn't say this on the call then, because no, people are dumb. They're not gonna come back to this episode
I like
way
that.
back
We
then.
are the drama. We're just starting beef with
Yeah, yeah,
ourselves.
yeah. I mean,
That's so
me and
goofy.
Brago did that a little bit. He started drama. We just have ongoing drama. It's so funny because like he'll do it publicly and I'll do it publicly, and then we're just in the DMs just laughing about it. But oh my god, that was like other creators reached out and they're like, "Wait, are you actually? Did you actually block Brago?" And I'm like,
People
I guess.
believe that?
So, I'm not gonna name names, but yeah, someone we mutually know did ask me like actually about that.
No
But
way.
you know both of us, that so that's why that didn't, you were like, oh, they're just
Like,
memeing.
even from an outside perspective, I'm just like, ah, they're memeing.
Yeah, but the thing is, your outside perspective is you know both of us. You know what I
Ah,
mean?
fair, fair,
And you
fair.
talk to us like behind the scenes. Whereas like people who view us, they don't, even if they watch all of our content, right? Which is, they might still not know. You know what I
If
mean?
you're one of the two people that actually watches us, then you might know.
Right. But the reason why I asked that is because, or this AI conversations, because I think current AI still isn't like at the replaceable level yet. Maybe
Yeah,
two
not
years,
yet.
3 years. I think it's going to be scarily fast to where it goes. And I'm honestly interested because I think that, like, for example, um, you know, there's no reason to hide this. People will, I think it's good to share with our loyal viewers. There is a new podcaster tool. Did I tell you about this?
Depend. Wait, go on.
It's
Keep talking
called
about it.
so basically it's a, oh, I did tell you about it. I did tell you about it. It's a tool that like auto edits clips, or not
Oh yeah,
clips,
you did.
but like the podcast. So it like, hey guys, once you guys see our quality upgrade, just know that we might have become
All thanks to that.
cyborgs. But yeah, like we're gonna implement some good changes. But so what it does is it takes all like the separate audio feeds, camera feeds, like syncs them and chops them up so that like when the speaker's talking, it switches cameras. Not like, so right now you guys see us both on camera, but while I'm talking, which is a lot, Sai's not talking, so it's like dead space. So then what it could do for Eclipse, it could just pan to me or switch to my camera, and then when Sai reacts or says something, it'll switch to him really quickly, and it does a really good job. And a lot of people are like, oh, that's replacing a lot of jobs, blah blah blah. And I think that there's still some gimmicks in there. There's a lot of interesting things at this point that it is replacing. But that's not like in order to make like a viral clip, you still have to curate the content a little bit, right? Like we have to chop out the likes, the mumbles, the stumbles, you know, and then consolidate the conversation, right? If I put the bear conversation, I have to cut out a lot, right? And
Yeah.
the AI isn't exactly doing that yet. There is another AI that does that. Um, but a lot of people are like, you know, terrified about that prospect. But the thing is, like, in 2 years or in a year, if we're already here now, that's kind of
It's
scary.
just going to get better.
Yeah, yeah. And then you can have whole podcasts are just straight up, you know, craziness. And so some people were saying like this is awful. Why? I think both you and I can attest to this, but it's like what that allows is more podcasts will be available, which means more competition, which we were talking negatively about beforehand.
We don't like competition.
But I think there is a stigma, like, bro, everyone and their mother has a podcast. Like, we need to take the mic away from certain people that just think that they just like giving them the podcasts realm gives a lot of people platforms and like loud voices when they should not have that because they don't have whatever like
Because
they
they're not us.
sure, right. I think but like they position themselves as experts in certain places like gurus or whatever, like health experts, and it's a lot of misinformation. Whereas like whenever we talk about like whether it's financial stuff or, you know, health stuff, we'll always be like, yo, we're not experts on the thing, this is just our perspective. That's just
Hey, speak for yourself. I'm a therapist.
exactly right. Like we you know, clearly you guys can smell that sarcasm, which I wonder if an AI
Sarcasm? What are you talking about?
I wonder if an AI can mimic the level of comedy that Psy has. I doubt it. You know, I think you're selling yourself short. But you know, on that same side of people saying there's going to be more podcasts, we bring that to the music side. There's going to be more music, and I think that forces the people who contribute to the space to be more creative. And I think it could go to a good place. But here's the thing. This is where the conversation wraps around. I think the best AI already exists. I think the best AI already existed well before computers even. And we kind of touched on it with the whole bear conversation, you know? Like, who are we to figure out where nature belongs when nature put itself there and we didn't do the due diligence
Oh, you're
of
speaking about
checking?
AI.
Yeah,
Or nature, Mother Nature. I thought you were gonna say the best AI before actual AI were zoologists. And I was like, oh yes, correct.
well, not zoologists, but I am saying nature. I'm saying the human brain. I think the human brain is better AI. And they actually proved that many times where it's like I don't know if you kept I don't know if I send these to you, but they like are able to grow brain cells like human brain cells, and the supercomputers that those brain cells make like dwarf any technology that we have. Like even if you attach AI to supercomputers, the like small eight like brain cell box thing that they make has more memory storage, has more computing power. They're able to learn so much faster than any AI that we've had so far. And I could be exaggerating on the front. I'm just like regurgitating a bunch of different information pieces that I had. And it might also be dated information. I don't know how recent some of this is. And I'm saying that because this is leaning towards like the medical stuff. But what they did, right? And so like obviously the thing is like nature made that, right? That's nature's computer. Our brains are that. The problem is we suck. Like humans are the issue there. But like the like the thing is like our like hey, this is why we call ourselves regular dudes. There are people with the same resources, right, as us and us the viewers, but then they can remember like all of their existence, like from their birth, from inside the womb. Like that's how competent their brains are. We don't have that, but it's like the same biology, right? Like there's nothing really different there. It's just somehow they're able to use it better than others, right? And some people are able to use that for math or language or science or whatever, right? But the thing is like now if you think about it, let's combine all of those geniuses together. That's the potential of the human brain. And the thing is, if human AI or if AI can't mimic us yet and best us, It's gonna take a while for them to best like all of the geniuses combined. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
And so here's where it all wraps around, and I'm curious where you go with this. We have successfully implanted a human brain into mice.
Did we really?
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
And the mice, I forget what they were able to do, but they were able to like learn like color, language, stimuluses, like so much stuff. And I'm like, wait, wait, that's scary. You know what I mean? Like we were talking about the AI replacing jobs and being terrifying, whatever.
We
My
are gonna replace ourselves.
we just created the scariest AI. Like I'm thinking about like imagine New York sewer rats with human brains,
With
bro.
human brains. Oh, I
That's
we wouldn't be able to
scary.
stop them, would we? We
No.
would. I think we would lose that. We would lose that war.
Instantly, right? If we put
I
into
believe we can
rats,
beat the gorillas. I don't think we can beat the rats. I'm not gonna lie, because rats, if they really wanted to, I guess the gorillas could if they wanted to too. But if rats really wanted to, they could concoct the most wildest diseases known to mankind.
oh my god.
We would not win.
Oh my
They
goodness.
would. What do you
You're no
mean?
no no, you're right. You're right. I
Yeah,
just
they
didn't think
would.
about it like that. I just thought because truthfully my brain went to Australia. They have cities that they had to like evacuate because it was overran by mice because there's so many mice that like their grocery stores, their trucks, you can look up videos where the mice just literally overtook the town during the pandemic because like food was just sitting there, whatever, and so mice just overpopulated. There was no pest control. The mice ate all the bugs, and it just literally already. These are not like sentient animals. Well, they are sentient, obviously, but like they are
They're not alive.
they're they're not human brained rats,
Yeah.
and they already did that. You put human brains into something as insane as rats, it's over, bro. And to give people reference, I've asked Sai across multiple episodes now, would we beat apes if we made them smart? And he said no. And then I sent him silverback gorilla like video, and I'm like, yo, you put a brain in that, I think it takes down I think a singular silverback gorilla could take down like a whole
No. I
town.
still don't believe that.
I think it could take down like towns, bro. Like if the thing is like I don't know how many bullets it takes to take down a single silverback gorilla, but if you put a brain, like a human brain, into that gorilla, the thing is, what we also know is like you can access more power. Like humans are really efficient at using our muscle mass because of like our brains and how we use it. Which there's a pro and con to that because uh we put more energy into our brains, but it's one of those things. I feel like you make a gorilla smart, they're like the Hulk already. You know what I mean? That's insta Hulk. You know what I mean?
But here's the thing. Here's the reason why I think rats would win and gorillas wouldn't.
Uh-huh. Hit me with
Because
it.
gorillas have a limited number. And if we saw a gorilla and we're like, yo, this thing has a human brain, we gotta kill it before it like starts reproducing and has a whole army, maybe we don't stop the army, right? Maybe like let's say they enlist 100 gorillas.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now we have 100 gorillas, and then they're cooking up like 10 of them in the oven. But gorillas, they're not instant. If they want babies with human brains, they might have to cook it in the oven like 1 or 2 times. It'll
True.
take like a couple weeks to a couple months to create. Whereas, far as rats go, they can repopulate so freaking fast. That's the main thing,
Yeah.
right? Because whereas the gorillas were like, oh, they have 100 plus, they might cap out at 150 depending on how many made this season. No, for rats, it's like, oh, right now there's 1 million, but there's like 5 billion cooking in the oven, and they're gonna hatch tomorrow. Like that's the difference in why I think rats would win.
Yeah. No.
Like just we wouldn't be able to beat them as fast. We wouldn't be able to kill as many as fast as they can reproduce. Whereas gorillas, I think we 1000% can.
I think with gorillas, I liked what we came to as a conclusion before. We would sooner, more likely, consider them like a sovereign state and reassess like humanity and like what our equals are, right? And like though we couldn't enter them in the same Olympic competitions with men and women, we Dana White of the UFC would definitely want to start a different league with these gorillas. A lot of funding would go that route. Whereas rats, I think even if we had sentient rats, right? Unless they're like master splinter sized from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, I doubt we would ever, even if they could speak, bro. I don't think we'd ever be like, yeah, there are equals. I think we would more fight to the death. And not even that. Like, I think you're right. I think before we even get the chance to fight to death, they just beat us. They just straight out beat us. They just overrun every major city. And then because they already are positioned, like if you really think about it, they're positioned to take over every major city. And the thing is, squirrels are their cousins. You know what I mean? It's not that they already have allies.
Squirrels are their cousins. I love that. They
Like,
could recruit. They
yeah,
haven't even started the enlistment process yet, guys.
yeah. Imagine that, right? Like we would never resort to recruiting apes and gorillas. Rats 100%. Squirrels,
I'm
what?
surprised they still let Asian people in the army.
Yeah.
Woo! That was a great joke, guys. Woo! Oh, hell yes, that's a classic racist joke, but against Asians.
See, that's where an AI wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to do that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
an AI wouldn't be able to do
They
that
would
one. That
either
was too far.
overdo it or no, but the thing is we need that. That's why we need racists.
And it's a joke that wasn't even that funny either. Like I didn't even get like a giggle out of you. You were like,
No, it wasn't
you're
that
like more puzzled.
it wasn't it wasn't what you said that puzzled me. It was what do I say that was like, oh no. How can I?
How do I react to this?
Because I already said it's problematic if I just say like yellow Asians, right? Like I could say that to like my friends, you know what I mean? Like we talk
Yeah.
about that all the time, but it's like I can't go on a public platform.
Bar loves talking about how yellow Asian people are off stream, but you got on a call?
Oh no,
That's a little
this
bit too
gets
far.
clipped out 20 years down the line. I get canceled, and then,
Eh.
and then I
Bard makes fun of Asian people in his free time.
and then I go with the famous, but I have yellow friends. No.
No, you should. Yeah, say it. I have Asian friends though, guys. Please,
No.
spare me.
Not the no, but it'd be mad funny if I'm like old and I just don't care anymore and I'm just like what do you mean I have yellow, like I'm doing it out on purpose. I'm like, I have yellow friends. How can I be racist, guys? I don't see color. I have yellow friends. Like I just say
Hey,
some what crazy
hey, yo, this guy's making some good arguments right here.
tell me the AI is gonna copy that. Tell me the AI is gonna do that. You know
They
what I
probably
mean?
would.
Man, I
There's
need to know.
precedence. If there's like even the slightest of precedence, they would totally copy it though.
So far, I don't remember. We could talk about this part after stream because it's kind of gives people too many ideas. But I agree that if we put human brains into rats, it's over. Do you hear the problem with that statement, Sai?
The if?
If. Because it's already happening and we already did it. And the thing is, who is in charge of these rats? These mice. Who's in charge, Sai?
we need Master Splinter in here.
No. That's not. No. Not that far. Back it up. Who is
Police say it's our homeboy, Joe Biden.
worse? Worse, Sai.
No, there's no one worse than Joe Biden. Who?
Okay, see, the thing is, I don't even think Joe Biden would misgender a bear because the people who did that are the same people
No.
that are going to be on charge of all like oversight. Yeah, maybe it's like a private lab and they care, but who do you the animal control people? These are the people in charge of this. And we just talked about how awful like that oversight is. You know what I mean? They couldn't catch a genetic disorder in a bear. You telling me that a super smart sentient human rat is going to not be able to outsmart these goons? You know what I mean? Like, hey,
We lost.
we lost. Here, one more thing. I sent you a TikTok. I know I sent you this TikTok of animal things. I just remembered. They're already not even a. Oh my god! What if this was a smart rat? Holy hell. Okay, there's a clip. I can maybe I have to link it in this video. Someone with their like like the ring cameras, but not necessarily a ring camera. It was like a door, like a lock camera, right? Like the doorknobs there, the keypads there, and then there's a camera on the keypad, right?
Yeah.
The keypad caught, and a CCTV camera on the thing. So on the keypad, you just see like ears. You just see furry like ears popping in and out of the view, right? Because the camera is positioned to see if a person is in front of your door. Someone's in front of your door trying to knock, trying to deliver you a package, trying to open the door, maybe try to break in. That's what that's for. It's not made for something on the keypad. What was on the keypad, Sai?
Was it a rat?
It was a mouse. That's not the crazy part, though. The mouse somehow got onto a door with a sleek, like, electronic keypad. What do you think the CCTV showed us?
What?
It
I'm
put the
not.
it put the
I'm out of guesses.
correct key log to open the door. It couldn't twist the knob, but the owner was like, it put the right login, the 4 number code.
Oh snaps!
That's why I just had the epiphany. I'm like, what? Hold on. What if that was like a one of those sentient rats that broke free? Oh my goodness. It's over. It's over. It's
I,
wraps, bro.
wait. Did the rat? I don't even know. Like,
It's
did
Tom
he
and
live in the
Jerry, bro.
apartment complex? Did he pay rent?
The comment section, bro, we're like, bro, that's their apartment. That's not yours. Like,
It literally is. What do you do about that?
the Tom and Jerry ass shit, bro. Like the mouse, like it's the goofiest thing because from just the keypad, you just see these ears popping in. Like, if I could mimic, it's just like. and and then from the CCTV angle, you just see it like literally just like Ratatouille, bro. Like do 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 do, and it's like it's like super small. So like to give you a size reference, the keypad is about double the size of the mouse. So the mouse has to like get leverage from the top half to actually put pressure on the electronic keypad. But it did. It did. It unlocked it, and I'm like, all right, hold on. That's scary. We're putting
No, that's kind of
human.
cute. That's kind of cute.
It's cute
I love rats.
until it wasn't a rat. It was a mouse, like a cute, like
Or
how like
mouse, yeah.
mouse and rats are kind of like feral, and then mouses can be
Hey!
like cute.
I had pet rats.
You had mice, not rats. You
No, I
had
had rats.
rats.
Yeah,
Oh
I had
my.
bred rats. Like we would like bought them from a breeder.
My brother had mice. I had to take care of them because he's not an animal person. But
Why'd he get them?
he had to do he was doing a science experiment.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Did he implement a human brain into it?
No, he was trying. I forget what it was, but I was the one who facilitated everything because he was just not good with the mice, and so like I was like basically the handler for his animals. So whenever he needed to put it into the maze or whatever, I handled that. And then these mice were so yoked and like like they were able to jump like in the matter like 2 weeks or 3 weeks we had them, like they went from like infant mice to these mice that could jump up, push open the top, and break free. And I'm like, that's insane. And then like my brother didn't know what to do, so I had to like capture them, and it was like the most insane thing because my mom's afraid of mice, and like my dad's
Yeah.
not exactly afraid of mice, but he's more of like a like
Don't mess with me with them.
yeah,
Don't put
exactly.
me and rats in the same room.
Yeah,
Or me and
yeah,
mice.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then my brother's more of like
Classic.
similar to my mom, and then I'm like, I'm kind of like, whoa, mouse. But then if like I have to handle the situation, I'll handle it. You know what I mean? That's kind of how it is. But if like a mouse just runs across the room, then I'm like, oh shit, what the, you know what I mean? But then when it
Yeah.
comes down to like dealing with it, then it's like toss that shit. The only thing I'm worried about is like diseases from the feral ones, but the ones like the lab mice obviously are like vaccinated or whatever, completely chill, that kind of thing. But Yo, I
Hey, I recommend to everybody out there, get a pet rat. They're cool.
they are
They poop a
interesting.
lot
People
though.
people I think it's an interesting experience too, but people are weirded out. I get it. Their tails are very interesting for sure. Definitely very.
The tails? How
Yeah,
so?
like the texture of the tail is so, like, it doesn't feel natural. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like
It's cute. No.
it
It's
no
like
but
it's like a lizard tail.
no, but a lizard tail's more like scaly. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it feels like nature could have made that versus a mouse tail kind of feels like, dang, this feels like a synthetic material. You know what I mean? Like this feels like a man-made, like rubbery kind of, like
He's a
it's.
government agent.
Yo, like honestly, might be there's a conspiracy of, like, all birds are fake, right? And that they're like
Yeah.
all cameras. Wait, actually, have we talked about that conspiracy? We haven't.
The birds being fake? No.
Yeah, that they're like the government
But
replaced
I
all the birds back in like the 50s or whatever because they're
yeah.
competent people apparently.
I
and
don't know
and
how we do that.
yeah, but so I you, man, you spoiled your take. What's so
What? Me not knowing how they do that?
no, I was asking you what side of the conspiracy do you see it being true? Do you see a
No,
win?
of course I don't think birds are spies. What do you mean you spoiled your take? Were you expecting me to say otherwise?
I exactly to be more open to like the possibility. We are
No, I'm
open
not
minded.
open to the possibility of the government
Why?
creating fake
Explain.
birds.
Explain to me, Sai. Explain to me why you're so opposed to this reasonable.
Reason, yeah, you struggle to get that one out, huh?
Come on. Give me a second. To this less absurd of all the government conspiracy theories, like, the moon landing is fake, the earth is flat. Like, I think the replacing all the birds and all the birds being spies, considering what bird, like, here let me give you guys, if you guys aren't aware, let me give you some food for thought, right? Birds are menaces. We talked about it earlier. I think birds are after me particularly. They've thrown rocks at me. I've had hawks circle over me as a little kid riding on a bike, and then they drop rocks because they thought I was a squirrel and they wanted to, like, incapacitate me and then
Like
carry me
straight up
off.
murder.
Yeah. That, I'm not even lying. This is truth, and that's why I stopped biking in my neighborhood because I was terrified. I need to get a little bit bigger so I could fight off these hawks. And so, hey, have you guys noticed that birds frequently aim their poop on your car? That's kind of sus. They seem a little, they target you. Have you noticed
They're being hired by the car companies.
the car wash companies?
Yeah, the car wash companies are making hella bank.
Have you noticed, like, sometimes birds just kind of like watch you. We know birds are really smart. Like, for example, crows, I believe, have photogenic memory. Or yeah, I'm pretty sure they have is it photogenic? Not photogenic. That's not the right word.
I think it is
Photographic memory. There we go.
photographic
Yeah,
memory.
yeah,
Yeah,
not photogenic. That means they look good on camera.
they do look pretty good in
No, no,
pictures though.
wait,
Hey,
no, no.
don't get me wrong here.
Photogenic memory means that they, in their memory, everyone looks good in there. Wait, that's dope. That's dope. I am on. Wait, that's great.
They look at us and they're like, "Wow, those are some handsome men."
Wait, that's awesome. Wait, we need
That would be kind
photogenic
of funny.
memory. We have like humans have body dysmorphia. We need photogenic memory. Wait, that's so legit. We should have that on a t-shirt. We just remember everyone just with a like a Instagram filter on top. Like,
Like a
that's,
giant smile on their face.
but like, birds are smart. We used to use birds to send messages in war, you know what I mean, before we had like the phone and stuff. We'd
Yeah, like
actually,
pigeon carriers and hawks and
exactly.
stuff.
So
That
there's
was
the
stupid.
elevation to, and we
Stupid
still do
times.
we still do that. We still do that. And the thing is,
Uh,
so, like, there's a stepping stone to this. I'm trying to sell
Imagine sending an important letter via pigeon and it just gets fucking mauled on the way. Like, oh, like, President Biden,
No,
we need your permission to attack the enemy forces. We're waiting 15 days to see if the pigeon arrives.
bro.
Like, no, that's so stupid. I
We
can't believe that was a part of the
trained these
human
pigeons
core.
to be able to tell. People used to use hawks to hunt, and they still do. And
They
and
still do.
and these are competent animals. They have good memory. They fly. They, maybe look out your window. Is there a bird watching you? I don't know if you guys just saw my camera just turn gray for a second, because
The
maybe
government's taking you out.
the birds are on the lines right now. Who knows? Like, why are they doing that? You know what I mean? So, hey, listen, guys, I only gave you a taste of it, and if I scared you even a centimeter, imagine the lengths that this conspiracy can go in that. Now, Sai, why are you being so disrespectful to this theory? Explain to me why you don't believe it.
Because there's no way the government could have done this. What are you talking about?
I just can't.
Did you see our Senate hearings where they were wondering how home Wi-Fi worked? You think these same guys over here making birds like 30, 50 years ago? What are you talking? No, it's obscene that you'd actually even recommend this.
Yo, I can't believe that, like, this is a big group. Like, I remember seeing someone, like, on like Good Morning America. Like, this dude, I think the person who started this is like a veteran troll. Like, I think he started but he was so convincing that he started a movement behind it. I think this guy is like a crypto dude too. I forget what it is, but I'm pretty sure this guy started it. And the fact that, like, I feel like the people who believe that birds are fake outnumber flat earthers, which is scary. You
I
know,
could see that.
but it's scary because it's like it's in a similar realm of, like, not trusting the government. You know what I mean? Like, flat earthers believe that the government's all lying to us, which is, like, cool. You think that these people are smart enough to all come together to agree on this. Cool. Then there's people who think it's like a Hollywood production of the moon landing. Another amazing collaboration by the world's smartest organization and people. Amazing, great. And then, I guess those people, like, don't believe that the earth is flat, but they think that somehow the world was competent enough to eradicate all birds, and because we know birds existed, like, prior, right? It's not that we created birds. That's not the theory. No. We eradicated all birds, and all the birds are man-made birds now. Like, that's the theory
And
right
keep in
now.
mind, this plan took place like decades and decades ago too.
And there's a lot of people who think like this, which is like why the current subject that has been here for 15 minutes now, probably 20 minutes, we are doomed. They're like, the fact that, like, these pockets of humanity exist. It's like the rats are taking those people. You know what I mean? There's no winning. Like, those people are not winning against rats, right? The flat earthers aren't winning against rats. Like, I don't think any of these people are winning against rats. Those people you know what though?
What's up?
A ooh, hold on. I'm cooking here.
What do you got?
I think those people exist to beat AI, because AI can't possibly predict that stupidity. Or, like, mimic that stupidity. You know what I mean? Like, they're the people that will short circuit it.
No, I still think AI can beat
All right,
it.
fair. You're right.
Because it's probably reading like all the Joe Rogan conspiracy theories, and they're like, you know what? Or not Joe Rogan, Alex Jones. Sorry, don't want to slander Joe Rogan,
How
the
dare you?
king of
Joe
podcasts. I know.
Rogan just entertain.
He's
He brings on the crazy people, and he's like, mm-hmm,
yeah,
okay,
he's very different
yeah.
than Alex Jones.
It's so funny because
Got
for
the
a
J's
while,
mixed up.
Joe Rogan got, like, tied to those things, and sometimes he is on the bad side of those conspiracy theories, but a majority of the times he just brings on crazy people, and he's just like, sure, that's so, like, birds, you think they're all made up, and then they're like, yeah, there's so much evidence, and he's like, but, like, I could just, like, shoot a bird down and, like, dissect it, and it's not a robot, right? And then they're like, yeah, but, like, that bird, like that's how good the technology was, right? Like I don't know what explanation they have, but like that's probably what they have now.
They
Like
just come up with things.
yeah. So that's what he does there, and he's the most, he's the king of podcasts. We can't slander the king, but we did talk about it earlier that we have high aspirations, right, Sai?
Yeah, I think by the end of the day we will amass, and I think in our heyday, our peak of podcasting, we'll have around 50 subs.
Fair enough. Wait a moment.
Just enough to beat up my cousin.
I want to go
What's
back
up?
to the animal thing later in a second.
Yeah.
You said me and you, right
Yeah.
now, you could replace us with AI and people would still listen, right? People
Yeah.
might even like it better. It might even be better than us. It might have better topics. Like it won't just prepare 5 minutes ahead of time. It has the whole slew of humanity behind it to come up with topics, right? So, what's stopping us, because we're so big brained, from doing that with Joe Rogan's podcast?
They already are.
Wait, is there AI Joe Rogan?
Oh yeah. There's
What?
AI Joe Rogan ads, sponsorships, clips. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a full-length episode out there of Joe Rogan. They
That's
have
what I'm
so
saying.
they literally have like thousands of episodes to reference, and it's
Yeah.
out there.
Should we do
It's
that?
it's totally out there.
Okay, we'll take this is on the record, but just so for on the record, we ended this conversation here. We never revisit this. There's just anything in the future for legal purposes. It's not us. We're not even real right now. And so with that, I do want to go back to the rat sentiment of we are putting human brains in rats. We are putting the best AI that exists in rats. I think that's a bad idea. Thoughts? Do you think that's something that, as the leader of the free world, you would be like, nah, guys, let's stop this?
The rat brain. Uh, ugh. no, I keep going.
You'd keep going. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
100%.
Okay.
Because the way I see it is that like if we
Uh-huh.
don't do it, some other country's just gonna do it.
Okay.
So I'd rather we be ahead than them be ahead.
Okay, but being ahead kind of means like accelerating our own demise in a way, unless we're super careful, all right? So like
Yeah.
we mix one rat with a brain, it could procreate, and then now we have a sentient, because like I would imagine that's kind of how like humanity started, right? Like a slightly smarter monkey with like a slightly smarter like genetic makeup started procreating, and then it started skewing into the genetically preferred lineage of closer to the Neanderthal route, right? It was a progressive way, but
I
like
like to imagine it was just random.
sure,
It,
random,
it
whatever.
was just like an accident. And they're like, huh?
But at the end of the day, like it was like
Humans.
a genetic mutation that existed amongst the population that slowly got preferred and then boosted, right? So if we
Yeah.
missed one of those rats with the brain, with the human brain, and then it procreated, but like you said, they reproduce, procreate very, very fast. I feel like if you let one rat out, maybe in like a year's time, we have an entire population that dwarves humanity.
You know what? Actually, that's a really good point. If we do that, we should just send them off to war for us. I'm just
Okay,
thinking of the best ways to use them for war. I'm like, you know what?
that
We don't need
is.
humans to die. We could just use the rats.
So do you think that's what America's point is? Because that I'm pretty sure this is American research, and everything that we do from Viagra to this is all for military reasons. For those of you guys who don't know, yep, Viagra and like Adderall, that was all made for military pretty much. So, um, but do you think that's why? Because we're gonna send rats over to just destabilize countries?
That would be a really good idea. That's what I would do if I was in charge.
See, and that's why this is, people think I'm crazy, right? But like I feel like a lot of people look at what's in front of them, but not what's past what's in front of them. Because everyone's worried about the AI. I'm worried about these human rats. The like I I chained like 4 TikToks together, right? Whereas like this like the AI stuff, all the scary stuff, oh, humans are gonna replace. Then the bear thing, right? How mishandled, like experts on animals mishandled this bear with the genetic disorder, right? Disorder, loosely. And then we're putting human brains into rats. If you combine and then saying that human brain is better than AI, right? You combine all those TikToks together. Oh, and then the rat opening the lock without a human brain, it is already capable of that. Give that rat a human brain. Every house is now at risk. You know what I mean? Every single house. Remember, a mouse can a rat, even a New York City rat can clear like through any hole that's like a quarter size opening. As long as their head can fit through, it's coming. You give it a human brain and connect all those dots together. I think the world is like, we're not ended from global warming. I think we end sooner. I think we end from rats. You know what I mean?
I like that.
I
I
think
mean, I think the rat thing is necessary though. It's like it's a stage in humanity that we need to explore.
but I see it like the alien thing. This is why I brought it to you. This is why we're talking about it. Because for those of you guys who don't know or don't remember, maybe you guys watch this when you're incapacitated a little bit with various substances, or you're delirious and going to sleep, or in the morning. So as a healthy reminder, Sai's dream world, if he were the leader, if you were to be God, play God for a day, what would you do, Sai? Explain that real quick.
You're gonna make me seem like a lunatic out of context, but
What? How is it?
I would create a bunch of subhuman humanoid races, just a whole bunch of wacky ones, like a Minecraft modded world. I'd put in at least like 200 to 300 different races, give them their own part of the Earth, maybe even expand the Earth a little bit. Earth 2.0, make it a little bit bigger in size, give them all their own biomes. I would treat it like we're playing a big old game of SMP, and I would bring war back to humanity to unite everybody together, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna make them so strong, so overpowered. There's so many different races that humanity now has to compete and vie against, so that our war against China seems a little bit insignificant. Maybe even Kim Jong-un comes together and says, you know what? I don't like those American people, but they got what they got what it takes to beat the cow people, right? Like I'd rather team up with Americans than the cow people. I think that is how we achieve world peace, through war. It's like the Code Geass effect. If you ever watched that anime, it's an old anime, but the ending is like, he's like, hey, I should be a bad guy so that people can come together.
That's a
It's the
crazy
Thanos approach.
it's a crazy analogy. I think, to summarize it, it's creating we discriminate amongst ourselves, and we need something else to discriminate against so that we see each other as more alike rather than different, right? We created sentient shark people, as Sai mentioned in the past, then we probably would look past our skin color to be like, yo, the people with razor sharp teeth that are swimming.
Those are the people we should be racist against.
Yes. And so
True racism will arise.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to the point where like we're gonna be like, hey, we like kids grow up and they're like, oh, look at that shark teethed bastard, like start attacking them and everything. And you know what? I'm cool with that.
Which is why the monkey example wouldn't work, because we would more quickly surmise them as our equals, like we did with like Coco, right? Coco, the orangutan, right? We were like,
Yeah.
our hearts poured out at our funeral, all that jazz, right? So that wouldn't cut it. Rise of the Planet of the Apes is so fantastical, it's so fictional that it makes no sense, because we wouldn't go to war with them. We would hug them. I mean, people are making love to trees out here, you know what I mean? And
Idiots.
and so the rat example is like, we would never put them on the same level as even if they brought world peace. And if you guys did the homework I said of going to watch that one episode about sentient yogurt, on Love, Death, Robots from that Netflix series, where yogurt is sentient. Humans refuse to see yogurt as an equal, and that yogurt would have saved humanity, and we messed up, right? And I think that's true. I think that's true. I think that the more sentience, a lower on the food structure this animal is, the more devastating it will be to us. And so you said a few things that are interesting there. um I think rats easily would take over the world, right?
Yeah.
um I've asked you because it's crazy, because I feel like ever since you said if you were God, this is what would happen, right? Ever since then,
Have you started thinking about it?
not that I've been thinking about it, you already know my perspective. People can go back and hear it. I understood it. I understand what you were saying, why it was a solution. I think a lot of people see aliens like that too. If aliens showed up, the humanity would band together instantly, right? Because we'd be so terrified of this foreign alien existence. Now, the thing is, right? Ever since you brought it out and we said on the 50-50, I feel like I've seen the world gravitate towards that way faster than prior, which is scary. So I'm almost questioning, like, is Sai messing with me right now? Is Sai actually God and he's just playing like isekaiing as a person here right now? I'm just a mortal that you're just messing with.
There's just so many things that humanity should worry about rather than like differences. I feel like we need things to bring us together, or just eliminate one side and just get it over with.
All right. I see that. I see you. I think, people say I'm a man with a vision. People go on my other channel and be like, "Yo, he predicted a lot of things, even 2 years ahead of time." And Sai doesn't consider himself a theorist from whatever reason. He doesn't.
I don't consider myself a theorist.
And
I'm
I
just a daydreamer.
and the thing is, people consider me that. Even my wife would, outside of the what I do there. Even my doctors are like, "Yo, you have some really good theories. I would want to study that, honestly." And some of them have come back to me with various research on my medical theories, because when I bring them to them, I'm like, "Hey, what? This is my hypothesis or theory," and they're like, "I don't know about that. That's very interesting. I'm gonna ask my peers," and they come back with papers or whatever. Or sometimes they just bring the doctor to me and I talk to them, and then they're like, "This is what it is." I'm like, "Cool, right?" So
Ooh,
I
I
I
like
am a
that.
person, and I respect you as someone who has the foresight. I'm curious, Sai. If we mess
What's
up
up?
on a grand scale, we don't stop at rats. We go the same way we test vaccines, the same way we test medication. We do rat trials, but then we also do monkey trials, right? Like, before COVID, the vaccine. Now this thing's gonna get flagged, but whatever. YouTube isn't monetizing us right now, anyways. But they tested rats, then they tested monkeys. They had animal trials, right? So, and the same thing with Neuralink that Elon Musk is doing to bring back a highly contested subject that we bring up every time. He had to do pig trials.
Good old Muskie.
I think he did a dog trial, he did a pig trial, and he did a monkey trial. I think he failed all of them. And so now he has to go back to the drawing board because he tried to bring it to human trials already. And they're like, nah, absolutely not. And he's like, damn it. All right, let's go back to the drawing boards. But here's the question, Sai. We put sentient human brains, the best AI in existence, because it's nature's AI. We are the issues with the AI, not the brain itself. We put it in every single living organism on the planet, excluding insects, because insects would just destroy us. We've already talked about. They're
Yeah,
already destroying
bugs.
us.
Literally, like dial back the whole rat thing. Insects would kill us too
Yeah,
so quickly.
instantly.
It would be sad.
It'd be gone.
Like there are more ants than people.
I want to save the insect conversation for later. This is a great thing because the Japanese giant killing bee or whatever,
Wasp.
wasp or whatever,
The Japanese giant
that thing
wasp.
also
Yeah.
has photographic memory apparently.
Photogenic memory, you mean?
Photogenic. No,
Everyone's handsome in his eyes.
yeah, apparently it has photographic memory. I came across the TikTok, but I'll talk about that one later. Every living every living creature, besides like trees and much. I know there's gonna be the tree huggers in here. Sure. Lettuce lovers, cool,
I'm
cool,
not a
cool,
tree hugger.
cool. Every organism outside of the ones we just excluded, we put brains in there to study, and then it goes haywire, and they each have populations. What is the hierarchy? because and I want to put another. No, no, go with it, and then I'll add something later.
So what's the hierarchy out of like animals with human brains? Is
Yeah,
that what you're asking?
what do you see as like what would happen first, right? What would
Yeah.
happen? Like this happens, we put brains in everything, and then it starts offshooting out of our control. The next steps, but then what do you see as the end stages?
So the end stage, like the high, like tier lists. Like I'm tier listing like monkeys with brains,
What
marsupials
would
with
the world look
brains.
like? That kind of a thing by the end
What?
of this, if we let that loose.
There wouldn't be any humans.
Oh no!
I think we'd die out pretty quick.
Damn. Okay.
If legit every animal had a brain.
Well, they have brains, but human brain. I
Yeah, like human sized brains. And let's go a little bit crazy. One escaped from the lab. They thought they killed it. They didn't. It's like some superhero origin story, right?
uh
Like the guy escaped from the lab. They're like, oh,
mm.
he's presumed dead, you know. And then 15 years later, he had time to live. He got like a family and everything, and he had this whole time to cook up ideas.
I think that was the original King Kong story, by the way. I think
Oh
like
shit!
I think it was
I'm
like a
just listening up King Kong. It's my Asian genes.
yeah, I
Oh
think it was
no.
like I might be forgetting, but I remember like an old movie where it was a lab animal. They like the lady took it home, raised it like a son or some shit like that, and then it just kept on growing, and then it took over Manhattan, and then it remembered the lady tried to calm it down, and it was just like oh, you know what I mean, and then it sent
I
to an
think that's
island.
just I think that's actually just Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes probably came from King Kong, but like I think
Oh,
there's
that's
like
fair.
7 King Kong origins, but I think back in the day that was one of them. But continue on you know. Do you think monkeys would be up there?
Monkeys, yeah.
Ooh, monkeys would.
Monkeys would be up there. We wouldn't though.
Hmm. All right. So then, what population do you think would be the first front runners? Do you think? Let's include fish.
I think fish would be so fucking fine,
Yeah.
right? Because they're like in their own ecosystem. Like nothing can really mess with them. And if they wanted to, I'm sure they could cook up some more diseases for the other animal. I always come back to disease. They could cook up just some like fat diseases for the other animals too,
Damn.
and just like pollute the water. Like what do you do if all the fish come together and pollute the water, right?
Yeah. Well,
Like
I doubt
you're
that.
kind of just done.
That'd be like us polluting the air to counter. Like, isn't that like counterintuitive? Do they make like gas masks, but like for water? That'd be kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy.
That'd be kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They create a filtration system, pollute. Wow. Huh. Hmm. I
that's a
think
good idea.
yeah, that's a good idea. We'll pocket that one for later. But all right, let's not include fish into this because I think that skews this. But land animals now. Giraffes, hippos, rhinos, bears, brains. Put them together. Sai, cook me a meal. What do you got here?
I still think it'd be gorillas. Like I think gorillas are just too OP.
But do you think rats would be able to overrun sentient gorillas?
Oh, rats. Okay, the rats are still here. Yeah, yeah, they would. I was
Okay.
just thinking of like hella mammals, and I was like, they're like the bigger sized ones, and I was like, maybe
Crocodiles,
crocodiles wouldn't win. Crocodiles are weak as hell,
birds,
dude. Me and you could beat a crocodile.
birds, hawks. They got airspace.
Nah, I don't think they'd win.
Hmm. It's interesting because so what I was gonna say is like I almost feel like whatever hierarchy already exists of like this is the apex predator. I feel like that gets turned on its head because I feel like numbers is so powerful, and I think like it's interesting because here's a question: who wins, a giraffe or a lion?
A giraffe or a lion?
Yeah, no, not sentient, just regular giraffe or lion.
Normally, it's the lion. You think? Wait, the giraffe would win?
Giraffe wins.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, giraffe wins if especially if it's a 1v1. The reason why is a lion wouldn't approach a giraffe, like that because they can't take down the giraffe in a reasonable way because they have to jump up to the neck or they can't reach the vitals. So the giraffe
Yeah.
is running, but the thing is, in order for the lion to get into that space, they need distraction and they need at least like four others. And what happens
They need
is
a whole party.
by going into that space in order to be in a lethal spot, the giraffe can stomp them in one hit. Can literally kill a lion. That's how strong a giraffe's kick is, in that realm because they're so big, they're so tall, their leg they can just straight up stomp a lion and the lion's out of commission. One hit, one clean hit, and that's why like lions will typically hunt a giraffe in packs, which I was just like mentioning. It's like it's interesting because like you know even in that situation, you need numbers, right? Even though the lion is the apex predator, you need numbers. And the thing is, the apex predators don't normally have the numbers because they're at the top. In order for them to be at the top, they have to eat a bunch of stuff, and there's less stuff for them to eat, right? But when you go lower down, you get more numbers. And
It's
if
like
you,
a nerf by God.
yeah, it's just a product, and so the reason why we exist is because we found out a way to multiply all of our food so that we just have safe food sources, right? But in reality, right, if we didn't do that, right, lions aren't out here farming chickens, right? Like they're not doing that. If they did, that'd be scary, right? So then there's two fronts. There's
That'd
two
be kind of nuts. Why haven't they done that before?
what lions farming chickens?
Yeah, we
No, that
it's so
okay,
easy for them.
that's where I was
They
getting
should
at.
have done that.
There's two fronts, right? I think at the beginning, the animals at probably like the mid to low tier that like have like animals that they eat and are more numerous than them, but have like a numbers and like agility and natural advantage, like New York City sewer rats, they would be more populated, right? They would win. They would take over. But then that's where the mid, not the top, the middle tier, probably the middle tier, the animals that are able to learn how to farm, those are the animals that would come out on top.
But the opposable thumbs and strength of a gorilla though, like they could farm so easily.
But do they have do they have, I guess they do have like a numbers advantage. And here's another thing that's super interesting I was going to bring up. Gorillas are vegetarians.
Stop. Don't no. Don't hit me with that.
No, like they are. Like monkeys don't eat animals. And that's an animal like bulls, cows. They don't eat meat. But the thing is, that's the biological evolutionary advantage that they have. Somehow, they don't eat meat, right? But their muscle density is so much more than a human's, right? It's just that's the way their biology works. And so that's kind of crazy, right? Like the
It makes sense though, right? Because like, okay, think about it like this: the gorillas are out every day, swinging on grapevines like Tarzan. They're out there like maybe not hunting for food, but hanging from trees just for fun. They're mating like 24/7. Me and you, Par, like we I like to think we made like once a day, and then today I went and grabbed some fried chicken, and I sat in my room, I played some Minecraft, I did some things online, I made some videos, and I spent at least half this day sitting down.
uh-huh.
A gorilla's not doing that. Like gorillas are out there moving, pounding their chests, fighting other gorillas for fun, slinging poo poo at each other. Like those guys are gonna be buff.
And
We
the,
it's the environment.
the thing is, even if we were to do that and mimic that lifestyle, we could never get to their muscle efficiency of
Oh
like how
yeah,
they convert. Like it is just impossible. But the thing is, that's where it ultimately comes down to. It's like the gorillas, they could learn how to like farm like their food, which is like kind of interesting because they already make tools and stuff. They're already close. But if they learn how to like farm, and they don't even need to farm other animals, they just need to
easy.
farm bananas and shit. You know what I mean? And they're insanely strong. But then imagine the other animals that farm other animals and they create like animal camps like we do and eat
That'd be
them.
kind of cool.
That would be cool. And then it's like a whole, it's like it's like a non-competitive thing, but then you get like gorillas versus like, I'm trying to think of what other animal would do this. Like to this extent. I can't think of one
The
off the top of my
whales.
head. Yeah, I mean, like that's fish, right? They would do that, but like
They would use like a shipwreck and just put krill in there and then just like wait. I don't know. They
bears,
they do something nuts.
bears are probably up there. If you gave, because they eat people, right? Their efficiency is also crazy, but they actually eat not people, but like they eat meat, right?
Yeah, they eat meat.
So
Bears could have a
bears,
hell of fish farm. Like imagine bears just create their own dam in a river and then just go ham.
yeah.
They just need to create two dams and then start a fish farm at the top and then they're like chilling.
So I think
That's all they gotta do.
bears and gorillas might end up being the overlords. I'm trying to think if there would be other ones, but like because they non-competitively would be able to farm their foods and combat each other, and they're big enough and they're scary enough, powerful enough and smart enough. But at the start, I think rats like squirrels, like all the pests. I think pests would reign supreme for a while.
Pests would definitely reign supreme. I wouldn't be surprised if the pests just straight up like kill every other race.
That's the thing, because diseases and all that stuff, like they
Yeah,
could do a
disease
lot
is
of
something you
damage.
just can't beat,
Yeah.
especially for an animal. Like let's say this whole crazy sentient animal thing happens, right? They all
Yeah.
have brains, they're all smart. It all happens day one.
Hmm.
Even if they had 10 years to innovate and to like create their farms and society and everything, and we're gone, like we're long dead.
Yeah.
If
Because
the
we're the
pest
first
came
one's
in
gone.
10 years later, 10 years behind the game, they came with brains, they would totally win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they would not, like gorillas, giraffes, none of those animals would be able to beat or create antibodies against the pests
Yeah.
in a timely manner. Like they'd just be done.
I'm thinking, oh,
And they would eat their crops.
yeah. Yeah. Oh,
It would
yeah.
be
They would
GG.
wipe out the gorillas. The thing is,
GG.
they would have to
They
learn
don't
how
have
to,
pesticide.
because the mice eat like insects. As long as insects don't go sentient, they got it, because they would be able to maintain their like their they would cut down on the food tree, right? Because it stops at mice now, and it's just like plants, insects, mice, right? You know what I mean? It's so much more consolidated. Honestly, mice might reign supreme. But here's another one. I
What's up?
think I might be wrong. Maybe I should Google this one actually. I think there's a pest that eats pests. Let me double check this
I
one.
mean, there are, so one thing that I think will also reign supreme is like actual parasites. Like you ever see those ant colonies that pick up like a stray butterfly, like a caterpillar, and then the caterpillar tricks them into thinking like it's the actual queen, and then the ants go back to their hive and kill the real queen, and then they raise up this caterpillar as their lord and savior. Like no, parasites would rule the world. It would be so gross. I wouldn't want that, but I think
Hmm.
that's what would happen. Natural parasites would dominate.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, the reason why they don't dominate now is because we can like keep them in check, sort of, right? Because we have like
But would
counters.
gorillas be able to keep them in check
If they're
though?
smart enough, I would imagine so. They have our
You
brains.
think so?
They would be able
Wait,
to
okay,
build
okay, no,
off
no,
of
no, no.
what we have.
Hear me out. Hear me out. The insects and pests would kill. Okay, so the gorillas and everybody else would kill us off,
Uh huh.
and then once we're gone, we who could probably kill the parasites are gone.
Yeah.
So the gorillas are now gonna have to deal with them without us. Like I just think it's gonna be like this endless chain of like
Wiping out.
one like yeah, like one species gets wiped out and then the next one comes into power and then they'll fight another threat that they can't beat, and it's all because they're not working together. Like if we worked together with the gorillas, we would be unstoppable.
But here's the
Or
thing, right?
pests.
Because
That'd be kind
like
of cool. And
I
army.
have proof that a mouse without a human brain already knows how to use human technology. I think that any sentient race is going to build off of our technology because they already interact with it. I already told you about the elephant who's acting like a toll booth, right? Because he just sees the truck go by and he takes the sugar cane off, right? All these animals have to interact with us. Honestly, that's a byproduct of us being dickheads to nature, right? We force them to adapt to us.
No,
What do you mean?
we're so cool. We're
Okay,
nice.
sure, we're cool, but then you say we lose first instantly.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing, we didn't incorporate a few things. I was thinking, I think cats might, because I think I heard, and people in the comments corroborate this. I think cats are known to have been the besides humans, cats wiped out the most species naturally because of how insane they were. And they procreate kind of quickly. And cats are
I
just
mean,
apex predators off rip, even like house cats.
isn't there an island in the real world? I think there's an island that actually has nothing but cats because they brought one cat or one or two cats to help the pest control situation there. And the cats ended up killing all the other wildlife on the island. Like cats are wild. I wish they would, but I don't think they would take over. I love cats. I'm
Apparently
rooting for
there's
them.
a bunch of places in Japan where there's cat
Yeah, it's
islands.
Japan.
Interesting. I don't know if they're the only ones, but apparently they outnumber a lot of people. That's interesting. Huh.
There's a lot of cats in Japan.
Yeah, yeah. So like cats, okay, I think because if rats are there, I think it might be cats and rats that end up honestly kind of
Oh, an
hmm.
endless cycle, cat and rats just endlessly hunting each other.
Yeah, but then there's
Like
a
some Tom and
third.
Jerry shit. Yeah.
Cats. Oh yeah,
I
the
like
world would just
that.
be Tom and Jerry.
That'd
Cuz
be kind of funny.
cuz I think cats would lose to
Down
sentient
for it.
bears and gorillas unless it was like big cats. But I don't think big cats are sustainable. And then like, do cats farm? Well, no. But can they keep the rats at bay? Yes. I think we can leave it to the pests and rodents to take out the bears and gorillas because they would be
That's
able to
so
take out the
sad.
farms, they take out the diseases, and then the cats would be able to take out the rats and keep them at bay. And it would end up being cats and rats. But here's the contender side. We
What's
didn't
up?
talk about reptiles that eat everything, all of them. If they get big enough, they could eat like bears and shit. I feel like
Yeah, but what reptile do you think would have the top spot? Like a Komodo dragon with its acid breath?
snakes.
Snakes?
I think snakes would get there. They're most versatile, right? They're in water. They're in like.
Yeah, but cats can beat snakes though.
But here's the thing: none of the races that we races species. None of the. I'm already preparing for the day that they're on equal footing with us. But
The reason why I like rubbed my head earlier, like in disgust, is because I thought about it. I was like, man, even if I introduced all of these races, there won't be peace. It'll only be war still at the end of the day.
it would be. It would be. The thing is, like, okay.
Is
Before
there
I
such thing
before
as
I bring up
peace?
the ultimate point, um, no, yeah. This is there. Okay. But with the ones that we brought up, it's like, do you see a world where we? I mean, we already cohabitat with like with cats,
Cohabilitate.
cohabilitate with cats, right? I could see us like. Do you think cats would pity us humans if they didn't need us?
I hope.
Which one of
If
the races would you? I think rats are not bats. Cats are our best bet. Either that or
yeah,
gorillas. It's
if
either it's
yeah, why not both?
yeah. Those are
Like
like
we should form an alliance with certain
yeah.
animals,
Cats and gorillas. I think bears would not care for us. I think
bro.
rats would not care for us.
Us humans and cats go way back.
Yeah.
Like we used to mess with them back in the day, right? Ancient Egypt.
It's
No,
in the
dude, cats are the
genetic.
homies.
Yeah, they know. It's like we domesticated them. They domesticated us.
What
It's
about
just a
dogs?
cycle, right? Dogs, no, dogs lose instantly. The thing is about dogs is that we messed up dogs. We bred dogs into oblivion. Like not a single dog breed is bred to survive life. You know what I mean? Like every big dogs and small dogs are all kind of just like abominations in existences because big dogs are like super susceptible to like disease. I might be mixing it up, but like no,
Bone
small
disease.
dogs, yeah, big dogs aren't sustainable for whatever they are because we bred them that way. And then small dogs are like disease ridden rats essentially that are just like super fragile that like would die instantly if you let them outside without human like intervention. Now, if you go back to like wolves or whatever, I think that at the end of the day, like dogs and canines got overran by felines. I think that's just like the truth of it. Um,
They pump out a lot of kids.
but in
I guess they
terms,
both did. Never mind.
Yeah, but in terms of
Dumb
like
statement.
who we would alliance with, maybe we create a soft one with dogs at the beginning because like they would be strong enough and loyal to us because that's a man's best friend. But in the long con, I think cats and gorillas are better off. I think we'd side off better
What
with them.
other animals do you think we could form an alliance with?
Hmm. Maybe birds? I feel like birds they would need opposable thumbs. Like they can do a lot, but like they can't do everything. So like that's where it's like the competitive advantage of us being like quadra like legs and arms, you know, like hey, you guys don't have
Hey, we're cool,
arms.
guys.
We could help you out or like can they necessarily farm? No, but we can farm for them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think birds might be a safe bet. You know what I mean? That might honestly be the thing is we would need to create an alliance with birds before gorillas and cats do. You know what I mean? Because
We have to be the mediator.
if anyone gets the jump on birds before us, it's over for us. Because think about the conspiracy. People think birds are fake and they're overlords of our world right now, right? Like we need to wipe out the birds or we need them on our side. You know what I mean? I have two solutions.
I was about to say the bird flu is also a problem.
Oh true. They spread diseases mad quick.
Yeah, avian disease is huge.
That's true. Man, the thing is
It
these a
kind of
lot
comes down to who can spread disease the best. They're the
humans
real
are kind of good
winners.
at it though. Humans are kind of good at it. The thing is we know what diseases. Hold on. Now that I think, hold on, we could easily just nuke races off the planet with our diseases because we
You mean species? You mean species?
species.
Oh, goodness part. Come on, that's step 4 of the plan. You're
No,
skipping ahead.
I'm trying to think. Like the thing is, I say that like we could easily create a feline specific, gorilla specific, maybe not a gorilla specific, but like all the other like diseases very quickly. I think. But the thing is, I think we're too stupid to get the jump. Like if all the animals just were sentient all at the same time, we're too slow. Like we could barely like fix a bridge. You know what I mean?
We'd probably still be in the Middle East fighting for oil right now.
Yeah, and like still worrying about that.
Birds that with human brains? No, poppycock. Shell the corporation needs some more. Needs some oil for daddy.
Yeah, exactly. Like we
Like we'd still
can't
be doing dumb stuff
we
like
can't
that.
we can't figure out TikTok, bro. And like we're trying
Yeah,
to
there's
fight
ain't no
birds.
way.
Yo, I'm trying.
We're
Okay,
too humans as a whole are too divided. We need like a we need to go the ant route. We need like a brood mother to give us directions. We like we need another Queen Elizabeth.
I such a funny connection you said, but I want to hold that note and bring up the reptiles thing, and then we could talk a little bit more. So the reptile route. Um, just want to know we did hit the 2 hour mark, so we could wrap it up a little bit sooner. But I'm having a lot of fun with this conversation. maybe we extend this out to another episode because I think we could talk a lot about it. But here's the
Oh, you're not supposed to say that on air, par.
yeah we can what
No,
eight
no, people. It's gonna break the illusion. What if they come to the next episode and we're still wearing the same clothes, right? They're gonna know it's recorded the same day. We're
no
cutting corners, par.
I meant when we come back on another day and we do homework and we come back stacked and rethink this and think how
Oh, I see what you mean.
yeah,
Wink.
oh wait yeah wink.
I
But
see. I
here's the
see.
thing, right? We didn't mention reptiles. The reason why reptiles are scary is because in terms of non-insect animals, non-water animals, non
Omitting 10 different races from this
no, but
competition.
we didn't include insects and we didn't include fish. Reptiles and amphibians are more commonly poisonous and have innate toxins in them. So if you gave them sentience, they might have the edge for a little while. You know what I mean? If not for a long while. That is, we still don't have a cure, for example, to snake venom, right? In order to stop, like, if you get bit by a snake, the first, and this is real advice, what you need to do is
Suck out the
remember,
poison.
no, what you need to do is
Get it
remember,
all in your throat.
Remember
Gurgle it.
what that snake looked like. That is the first thing you need to do. If that is the last thing you do before you lose consciousness, what kind of snake, what kind of shape head it was, what color, if there was a pattern, that's what you need to do, because whether you write it down or you tell a witness or whatever, you record it on a phone and whatever, and then whoever takes care of you, they know what snake it is, and then they can give you the snake venom or the anti venom. Emphasis on anti venom, because the only way we know how to counter it is by like using the venom of that snake to counter the venom in your bloodstream. That's what we do. You know what I mean? So if you get bit by one snake and they give you anti venom on another snake, it might not be as effective, if not effective at all, which is really important because to this day, we don't have a counter to that. So if you introduce sentient snakes with venom, I think they could do damage.
No.
And they are they are predators for mice, even like small animals like cats and stuff like that. We have some snakes already hitting like 15 feet in size, and they're not even smart.
I think they have such a limited population, and it takes so long for them to build up that venom. And there's a lot of detriments to the snake too for using that venom that I feel like, yeah, they'd be a nuisance, but I don't think in the long haul that they'd be like a holy crap, watch out for the snakes, right?
How fast do snakes multiply? Female snakes may give birth to her young once or twice a year. For some species, this may occur as soon as mating process is over, but depending on circumstances, snakes may end up reproducing only every 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like
Mm.
like I said, it's a problem at first, but after like I'm trying to think. After about 2 or 3, like I think 3 years is perfect. After the 3 year mark, like I think we'll be fine.
All right, see, this is where I put snakes then. I think if we had sentient
Where's the
snakes,
tier list for snakes?
they are separated out. I think they would essentially become the world's assassins. So like no one can single-handedly wipe all of them out because of how versatile they are, where they could hide, but they aren't strong enough as a species to overtake the other sentient races. And so what you end up having is like these giant snakes with snake colonies. You can't mess with those colonies, but outside of their zones, they probably can't expand outwards. And it would be something of like they would be the balancing act of like they would take out cats, they would take out gorillas, they would take out bears, they would take out rats, which sounds crazy, but like yeah, if they got big enough, I think they could, especially if you give them brains, right? Um like aren't there stories like what's the biggest boa constrictor? Largest a
You're gonna
boa.
hear if you type that in, I guarantee you're gonna start hearing like mythology or something. Like,
So
there's this remote village that recorded a
no,
500-year-old snake
no, this is
uh,
only facts. We only
that
spit
ate the world.
facts on this podcast, retconning what I said earlier. But according to National Geographic, in the first Google search that came up, the largest boa constrictor ever caught measured 18 feet long. So that's not like insanely big, but I feel like 18 feet is large
That's pretty
enough.
good.
Yeah, that's large enough to like take out like if they could like us bears, even like maybe not the biggest bears because of like strength, but I feel like if you're just like a scary rope, you know what I mean, like muscle rope. Like
A scary rope.
I feel like that's
That's
kind of terrible.
horrifying.
Like like a gorilla goes for a branch and then it's not a branch, it's a scary rope, you know what I mean, like a
Don't
danger.
don't sloth do that.
I feel like yeah, I mean, but they're dumb. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
no. I've heard stories. Okay, so I think this is a real fact. Go look it up and do some research
Uh-huh.
because I certainly did it. But I heard that sloths are so dumb that
Uh-huh.
they actually mistake their own arms for tree branches and grab their arm and just fall off the tree and die.
Sloth myth busting. This is the first. Oh, but
No.
this is Facebook. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
trust Facebook moms.
let's use the Sloth Conservation Foundation.org. That is the website we are going to use for this. Let me see. Myths about sloths. Sloths are
Sloth
so
propaganda.
dumb they mistake their own arms for tree
Wait, is that
branches. That is the myth. That's myth number one. They said
It's got to be real. It's
we
got to be
don't
real.
know exactly where Douglas Adams, I don't know who that is, got this information from when writing The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. What a fun book. But it is
Hey, that's my
unfortunate
source.
and completely wrong. Sloths are actually very careful when they move about in the trees. Before they move, they
Boo.
need to be sure that the branch they are holding onto is strong enough to carry their weight. Also, their grip is incredibly strong, stronger than any human. And so they would probably notice if they grabbed onto their own arm. Sloths may not have big brains, but they are certainly not that slow-witted. Interesting.
Boo.
Now,
Boo.
this
My head
ex-
cannon.
this example made me realize we forgot one of the most slept on animals, probably that kind of already is like peak, and that's elephants. I feel like sentient elephants kind of are cracked, right?
No, I don't think so. I think elephants
Damn.
suck. Yeah. I'm sorry. I actually thought about elephants first when I was like going through
Uh-huh.
the animal list, and I was like, you know
Uh-huh.
what? I was like, elephants? No, elephants are afraid of mice. Like I think they're just loose.
Okay, but here's the thing. I think elephants might be the best ally of most animals. I think sentient elephants might first be the first to make an alliance, be down to make an alliance, and the most sought after alliance. Maybe after humans, but definitely like up there. You know what I mean? I feel like
Yeah.
every animal species is like looks at an elephant, be like, are we good? You know what I mean? Like they kind of look at elephants, be like, can we,
Can we just chill?
can
Can
we?
we have a pact of non-aggression?
Yeah, like I don't see cats hunting down an elephant like that. Like bears and gorillas are like, man, not, they would more rather see them as vehicles and like tractors. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of think about it like if humans could like make elephants pets, we would have not have a lot of construction equipment a lot sooner. You know what I mean? Like cranes and all these different things. We could just replace them with elephants. You know what I mean?
Water pumps.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Like so many different things. You know what I mean? I feel like elephants are construction equipment for sure. For sure. I feel like every animal would look at an elephant and be like, "That's useful. That is useful." I
I
wouldn't
need
want
to
to.
get this dude on my side.
Yeah, even
The elephants would
rats.
help with what, like making the farms.
Yeah, yeah, like even rats. Because the thing is, rats may not want to ally with humans because we're just not super useful for. We could be useful to them, I guess, and making stuff. Like they would like subjugate us and then have us make stuff for them. You know what I mean? Kind of like Ratatouille, right? Like they'd control us. Like
Hey, this all wraps around that you. It's funny that you say Ratatouille because that's the ride that the guy at Disney jacked off on. It's the Ratatouille ride.
oh my goodness. Oh
Maybe the
my
rat was
goodness.
controlling him, Par.
That's a good point. And so, you know, you don't know what I titled this segment. If you had to guess though, if you had to guess what two goofy males, hint hint, might what we're getting at here, what kind of conversation we had, the viewers know. I'm curious. This is a fun thing. What do you think I titled this?
Ratatouille?
No,
Because we talked about rats for a minute.
I think the appropriate title, and it makes sense because we're two of these, is I think the premise at the end of the day is we were trying to figure out who the real alpha
Top
male
G.
is. Oh my god, you knew it.
It's
Basic.
the top G.
I said alpha male, but you said top G. It's basically the same thing at that point.
Yeah, it's the same thing. We all like Andrew Tate.
Yeah. Oh no, 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 no. Cut, cut,
Huh?
cut, cut, cut. You caught me. Man, the audio bit's
Caught you off guard
bad.
with that one.
That audio bit is bad. I thought you were gonna say something else, and I said yeah preemptively.
Yeah,
Jokes
you
on
see that
me.
guy's Par agreed. Hey, Par agreed.
Jokes on me. See, that's where at the very beginning when I said I don't listen to you sometimes and just tune out the crazy, it backfired because I tuned out the crazy and you said something crazy, and here we are. And so, you
You're
know,
well. Hey, you're welcome.
one last thing on this topic. I think we did touch on the thing that could be the tool for us to overcome everything? Do you know what it is? Besides diseases, I think diseases is a crack solution for sure.
So we talked about diseases, we talked about strength, we talked about numbers.
Yeah.
What else could there be?
You actually said it very quickly, but you said it in a different context, and I'm like, oh. So it might be the way to take over everything else. Well, I mean, the disease, I think as parasites are in there, right? Like the zombie parasites, that's there. But
Yeah.
insects could be a cracked way to like population control everything. If we were to figure out how to control insects, maybe we could, like, because we are creating like small robots too. You know what I mean? Like the thing is, you know how like the problem at the end of the day was us. This all started because we put brains into these animals and we just are too stupid. But you know what the saying goes? It's like you fight fire with
Fire.
right.
So you think that we could create, I mean, I guess we already do have like pesticide,
Like
but
so
like something better than that?
so maybe not pesticide, but we could create we fight fire with fire by creating sentient insects, but also put the controls in place. We learned our lesson from all the other animals, and we put some kind of control.
We've
Whether
been bullied enough.
yeah, because we do have the genetics of how to create zombie insects, right? Because that exists, mushrooms and fungi, whatever. Yeah,
Fungi.
they and we could be the fun guys to put that control in place and control these insects. Bees, wasps has photographic memories. We could
Photogenic memories.
photogenic memories. We
I'm
could
not gonna let
create
that one go.
we
It's
can
so
create
good.
assassins. We can create armies of ants. Remember I told you about those ants? They could take over, right? I think we could do that. Do you think I think that might be the best route. We fight fire with fire. Insects are way easier to control. We don't eat insects. The animals eat insects. So if anything, we create an alliance with them in the first place, right?
I like where you're going with this par.
Yeah, I think. See, do you think AI would have came up with this?
Yeah.
God damn it! God damn it! That was
I don't
the
think there's a single thing that AI wouldn't have thought of
no. And
that we
the
talked
the
about this
problem
episode.
is now that I spoke it out and put it on the record, AI is gonna tap into the best record system of human intelligence across all podcasting platforms. The
Us.
50/50 podcast.
Now that they've copied us, there's no greater peak for AI
We
knowledge.
just gave them so much fuel, and I'm curious to know. Let share if you guys want to bolster the AI army. Let us know in the comment section what you thought about this conversation, but also what your solution is, where you rank these animals. Maybe we missed an animal. Maybe next time we include fishes, right? Because I think we talked about the mantis shrimp. Imagine sentient mantis if they procreate really quickly, bro. It might be wraps.
Sentient mantis shrimps. That's cursed.
That is cursed, right? Sentient like blue ring octopuses, bro. Sentient like giant octopus, like the ones that are like people think that like can take down like cruise liners, like those octopuses.
Also cursed.
Yeah. Maybe that
A
is
sentient megalodon would also be crazy. I can tell already. There's somebody in the comment section who's like blowing up because we keep on using the word sentient wrong.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
But hey, we know, we acknowledge the mistake and we're running with it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's 3 a.m. and we're just, the synonyms aren't there. The correct terminology isn't properly imbued. And that's how we throw off AI. If AI's solution is to be correct, humanity's solution is to be
But they
wrong.
they they pick up flaws too, though,
But
Par.
that's how we poison them. Like if there's anything humans are good
Oh,
at,
like the Predator.
yeah, sure. And so I don't
No,
I don't
I
want to
think I
know.
told. Did I tell you about that yet?
Yeah. I think the newest
Yeah,
one was it picked up like we don't
it
have to
picked up
talk.
autism.
Oh, yeah. So which we don't have to talk about that right now. I think that's a evolutionary advancement in a lot of ways, but what we I think the way if there's anything humans are good at, it's Look at the humans that we talked about at the beginning of the episode. The way we treated bears, the way we treated the justice system, the way our Senate treats TikTok. We are good at being so wrong. Like, you know what I mean? To a point where AI, it just couldn't fathom how wrong we are. And we would create we would put that flaw in them, and they would become more flawed than we are. They'd be
They wouldn't
better.
know what to do.
Yeah, they'd be better at being flawed. You know what I mean? So that might be our solution. Being flawed might be humanity's saving grace. At the end of the day, because
That's a beautiful analogy, Par.
yeah, because like you can't. Was it like two rights don't make a right, but two wrongs don't make a right either, right? Like they make a left or something like that. Like
I've never heard that before. What is that's a curse saying, yeah?
I was trying to spin it out to make it make sense, and I just like went with it, and I was like, oh, whatever. I should make that. We should put that on a t-shirt too. Like two rights, not a right, but neither is two lefts.
It's a left.
It's three rights make a left, right? So
Three
why
rights make a no. This is getting more and more ridiculous. What are you talking about?
right, and then right, you end up turning left. That it's like the UPS. Wait, you know about
Okay,
UPS trucks?
yeah. Well, okay, no. I should have worded that better. I know what you're trying to say, but it just doesn't sound good. It's not one of those sayings that I'm gonna hear like somebody on the street saying, right?
And that's what we got to put into the AI. All of these sayings. We gave it so much gold. We have to give it coal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we have to mess it up somehow.
And little do they know, the thing is they'll take the coal and stay charcoal, but we put so much pressure on that coal, we'll make diamonds. And that's what this podcast is, right? Right, Si? Diamond in the
Yes,
rough.
a diamond in the rough, and also a diamond that will soon hit over 30 subs and beat my cousin.
Hey, and if you guys want the latest and greatest, I know this time we didn't talk about current events. I talked about current events that were current to
Hey, the
me.
Ratatouille thing is a current event.
Fair enough. Yeah. And if you guys want the latest though, sign up for the not the podcast, the Patreon. It'll be the newest episode will be there. Essentially, uh, you know, there'll be exclusive content posted up there. Possibly some merch decisions also there because we got some dope
Polls.
ideas. We
Put some
got
polls up there for you guys.
you guys don't even know how many ideas we stockpiled. But yeah, Sai, do you have anything left to add?
Yeah. Here's just a fun little thing I found the other day. If you
Uh,
guys have a computer and
uh-huh.
you're like, man, I really want like a cool wallpaper, download Wallpaper Engine on Steam. It's
Oh
$4,
yeah,
and
that's
let me
dope.
tell you, yeah, it's super dope. I didn't know about it. Well, I had a lot of friends that owned Wallpaper Engine, and I was always
Mhm.
like, man, look at these losers. They need an app to give them a cool wallpaper. Buffoons. And the other day I was going through Google and I was like, man, I can't find a wallpaper. And I was
Mhm.
like, you know what? I'm gonna give a try to Wallpaper Engine. I want to see what this is all about. And
Yeah.
let me tell you, my life has not been the same. There are hella anime titties bouncing on my screen right now, just going absolutely insane. You could find one with Joe Biden shooting a Kamehameha. Like, Wallpaper Engine has everything.
I could see it in the reflection of your eyes. I could tell this entire time. They have some One Piece stuff too. I heard
Yeah,
that. Um,
they have some decent One Piece wallpapers.
what
Go to
you
Wallpaper Engine.
just said made me want to bring up another topic, but I'll tell you off, and then we'll figure out if we can talk about it. But it's kind of
Is it dicey?
it is dicey, and so I feel like we went through some of the announcements again. Thank you guys for coming to the new channel. It'll all be posted on the 50/50 podcast YouTube. Spotify link will be provided, Patreon link, everything there. And let us know what you thought about various topics we had here and topics you guys want us to hear more of. Yeah, so
Hopefully, you guys enjoy the conversation about the polar bear because I thought that was kind of funny.
hey, whoa. I'm gonna end it in 12 seconds, but I feel for that bear, bro. I think they named it Dave.
They
Dave
gave it a name before they put it through torture. Yeah,
after.
A1. Oh,
Peace.
after. I'm sorry.